between Wilson and St. Clair West stations. Shuttle buses had been running for nearly 2 hours after an injury at track level.
680 News Time, 9:05. Toronto police are warning the public about a string of food robberies targeting people in the city's East End. Police say since last Friday, they've received numerous reports about the robberies taking place in the Morningside Avenue and Sewells Road area. According to investigators, food would be ordered for delivery to addresses in that neighborhood. While a group of people waited for the food delivery person, the group would then steal the food and in some cases would make threats while armed with the weapon. No money has been stolen so far. Any information is asked to give police a call.
Is that where the line is drawn? If you steal the food, people won't snitch you out, but if you steal the money, they will. Is that where the line is drawn now or something?
After 3 pedestrians were hit by a vehicle driven by an elderly woman. Here's 680's Phil Martino with the details.
Toronto Police Sergeant Jason Croft says for unknown reasons, a vehicle hit 3 pedestrians outside the Walmart doors just before 1 p.m.
Officers located a vehicle and a driver, a female driver in her 70s, as well as 3 pedestrians. So a female in her 30s that was transported to hospital by ambulance with life-threatening injuries.
A woman in her 30s pushing a stroller was also struck. She and her child were assessed at the scene. They are okay. So far, no charges have been laid. Police say they are looking for any witnesses or anyone who may have dash cam footage of what happened. I'm Phil Martino.
They've been waiting 6 years for answers on how their son died while in a psychiatric ward under suicide watch at Brampton Civic Hospital.
He died of suicide watch. What the fuck?
Christina Howard
It's called suicide what? I should have called my channel suicide watch. No, that wouldn't work. They would think it was something else.
Death has been delayed to May of 2021. The issue, no courtrooms.
What?
Delayed and
Get a fucking tent.
So for justice is already denied in that for 7 years. Miss, what I'm going to do with the alien person? They cannot bring Prashant back.
Rakesh Tiwari has been waiting to learn what went wrong and who ultimately is responsible.
Medical system has failed, and here the legal system has failed too.
Michael Smichuk has filed several wrongful death lawsuits and represents the Tiwari family in theirs. He says delays like this are becoming routine.
It takes, on average, in our experience, to get to court about 6 years, which is completely unacceptable.
Rakesh says he has little faith his court case will proceed as promised in May 2021. And until it does, his son's ashes will not be laid to rest. Christina Howard, City News.
Here with All News Radio, 680 News at 9:07. The Premier met with the media today at Queen's Park to announce the creation of scholarships to honor those lost in the plane crash in Iran. But the classroom labor strike took center stage. The Premier says this is about the unions wanting to take $750 million more out of the pockets of taxpayers. He's also defending his government's decision to compensate the parents of children affected by rotating teacher strikes.
So I think it was a good move that we're using the teachers' salaries to compensate the parents that have to pay the $60, $40 to put their children in daycare.
Ford says he is confident a deal can be reached, but would not say if he would consider legislation to end the walkouts.
And with the looming teacher strikes in the cards for early next week, parents are scrambling to find childcare. 680's Momo Qureshi joins us with more on options for parents.
As far as Toronto goes, Mayor Tory says the logistics will prevent the city from offering up any sort of day or drop-in programs. But up in York Region, which will be affected by both strikes on Monday and Tuesday, municipalities including Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham are offering programs. Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti tells me if you want your
Toronto
child
just
to
doesn't
take
have enough money. Them little shit towns, hick towns, are meant to say
to find
fucking
out
able
what's
to do
being
it.
offered in your area, you can check your town or
What's
city's
the price
official
of fucking
website.
retail and office
Scarpitti says
space?
he's
20
hoping
bucks a
other
foot or
community
some
groups
shit?
will also
Oh,
step
fuck.
in.
Certainly the city of Markham is helping out, and I'm hoping many of the religious and community organizations that have facilities in our community will also step forward as a way to ease some of the stress.
At City Hall, I'm Momo Qureshi.
Up in 30 seconds, we'll check on the price at the pumps.
680 News Time at 9:09.
You're listening to Toronto's 680 News.
OFX are global money transfer specialists,
Oh, no, this
reimagining how the world
should help
moves
get the
money.
job done, eh?
OFX has the expertise to support
Yeah, sure,
everything
it's
from
really
businesses
so,
processing international
Do it
payments
one at a
to
time.
individuals purchasing property
Big as my
abroad
head.
or sending money to family back home. It's all backed with 24/7 human support and competitive rates. Keep more of your money as it travels around the world. More at OFX.com. It's how the world moves money.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicting the price at the pumps will drop a cent at midnight to $1.14.9 a liter at most GTA stations. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones.
680 News Time, 9:10.
Are you hiring now or will have a job opening soon? We can help. Check out the Next Steps Employment Centers at next-steps.ca. It's where qualified candidates go to look for their next job. We offer free recruitment services, and you may qualify for financial incentives. And have you heard? Through the Canada Ontario Job Grant, you could be eligible to receive up to $10,000 per employee in government support to cover training costs. Learn more at next-steps.ca. That's next-steps.ca.
How long do these people have to have been employed with me for? I can go hire a bunch of people tonight and get rid of them tomorrow.
Say when visiting Royal Lighting's huge Midtown showroom and see the fabulous savings on hundreds upon hundreds of the latest lighting styles. Royal Lighting features the best styles in chandeliers, floor and table lamps, wall and ceiling fixtures, ceiling fans, vanity and outdoor lighting. Royal Lighting's professionally trained staff will help you find the perfect light at the perfect price. Perfect price. Royal Lighting, 1549 Avenue Road, north of Lawrence.
680 News Time, 9/11 traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by 407 ETR and Scott. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines express as designed or intended to be used for fast movement or travel or traveling at high speed. So the eastbound Gardner Expressway is certainly not living up to that definition. Eastbound Gardner is just jammed from east of Spadina over to Jarvis, where we have lane restrictions for, of course, the long-term construction, but now also pothole repairs. They blocked off the right lane for that long-term construction a few months ago. Tonight, the left lane is also closed for these ongoing pothole repairs until about midnight tonight. So right now, only one lane is open approach as you get to this area. And we've got a very heavy jam, again, from east of
Number one for news.
I don't know what Christine's doing in there, but again, we've got this heavy jam up approaching the area, and it's all because of the combination of this long-term construction and these pothole repairs. Certainly take the lakeshore instead of the Gardner as you travel eastbound through downtown. Outside of that, we're just dealing with a spot or two of construction, but nothing else causing any delays. You want to be aware of some ramp closures. Southbound Dufferin ramp to the west 407 is closed, and also the westbound 407 ramp to the 410 shut down for overnight construction. 407 ETR saves drivers 30 million hours of time each year, giving you more time for the things that matter most to you. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report at 9:21, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ranzahai.
Overnight tonight, skies clearing. We are going to lighten up those winds, but it's chilly. We're down to minus 12 degrees. A wind chill of minus 19 is what you need to dress for in the morning. And tomorrow, mainly sunny with a high of just minus 7. Wind chill minus 11, although the winds are much lighter than today. Then Saturday, we're talking about the special weather statement in effect for snow starting in the morning, heaviest during the afternoon, changing from fluffy snow over to heavy wet snow late in the day, and even mixing in some rain possible come Saturday night. Temperatures 0 degrees in the afternoon, rising to 3 degrees by evening. Tonight, we're down to a low of minus 12.
And right now in downtown Toronto, minus 5 with some light flurries throughout areas of the city. But the wind chill feels like minus 12 up at Pearson Airport, minus 7 and partly cloudy. 680 News Time, 9:13.
Better Call Saul has been renewed for a 6th and final season consisting of 13 episodes that will air in 2021. Upcoming 5th season debuts next month on AMC. The Breaking Bad prequel will air 10 episodes this year. Executive producer Peter Gould told the TV critics meeting on Thursday that it's the run everyone on the show wanted. By the time it's over, Better Call Saul will have made 1 episode more than Breaking Bad's total of 62. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll recap your top stories and see how the Leafs are doing down at Scotiabank tonight.
680 News Time, 9:14.
Hi, I'm Brian Scudamore from 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Is it too early to do spring cleaning?
We bring the springtime with us, ma'am. Just walk around and point at junk you wish would disappear.
Point? Wow.
You really do bring the springtime.
We leave behind happy
We
places.
bring the
and happy
springtime.
faces. We work until midnight, 7 days a week.
And we can be there in 90 minutes. All you have to do is call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Use it for writing your dealer's number on.
KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Also accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and truck donations.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
A few clouds, -5, feeling like -12 in downtown Toronto. Good evening. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Christy Ritchie. Here are the top stories this hour.
Get the skis, the toboggan, the burning desire to build a wicked snow fort. A special weather statement in effect for Toronto and the GTA, calling up to for up to 15 centimeters of snow here in the city, up to 20 in regions north and east of Toronto. It all starts Saturday morning at around 9 o'clock. However, a warm front Saturday night could turn that to snow, to rain for areas close to the lake.
There have been multiple reports of robberies targeting food delivery people in the city's East End since Friday. It's alleged that orders were placed for food deliveries, and a group of people will be waiting at the address, sometimes armed, to rob the delivery person and steal the food. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward.
And it's back to the grind today for Prince Harry, who continues his royal duties, including launching the next Invictus Games for both service personnel and veterans, and introducing a new mental health initiative for rugby players. Duchess of Sussex and Meghan Markle remains here in Canada. The two were given the Queen's blessing to live here part-time.
For these stories and more, open up the 680 app or head over to 680.
You gotta have mental problems to play rugby. Don't fix those guys. You need them to play rugby. Toronto Wolfpack.
Scott, well, the Leafs and Flames are battling down at Scotiabank Arena, and the Leafs have tied things up at 1.
Carried to Tavares on the left wing side. Top of the circle, into the circle, shot, score! Nylander gets the tip. John Tavares sets it up, and the Leafs have tied the game.
Joe Bowen with the call there. You can listen to the rest of the third, just about 6 minutes left in the game, right here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Other scores around the NHL include the Canadiens leading the Flyers 3-1, Panthers on top of the Kings 4-1, and the Bruins are leading the Penguins 2-1. Hurricanes defenseman Dougie Hamilton had to be helped off the ice, meanwhile, versus the Blue Jackets. His left leg got caught beneath him as he fell. We'll update that as the night goes on. And the CHL NHL Top Prospects game is also in action right now. That game is happening in Hamilton. Team White leads Team Red 4-2. You can watch that.
Why can't you fucking just ignore the sports? I can't process that yet. Let's see what I can find. See how badly I can fuck this shit up. Big shots. We don't throw guns in the air, we put bullets everywhere, even in your fake ass hair. Who cares? Let the fucking neighbors stare.
357s and Mac 11s, D7, cock your weapon and stop yelling if you at 47. I got niggas in the front ready, you're grinning to split you down the middle just like a buzzer. Walk without with me, the Lord will not forgive me for shaking up your kidney, cause you faking and dizzy. My niggas nifty and shifty, pissy, really iggy, shitty. We don't give a wiggy, what really, Millie's trying to kill the city like crack in the 80s. I'm ready to burn in Hades, my dog's infected with rabies, not even my barbecue fitting. You niggas is crazy, fuck a fight and learn what these talents do.
You could be as cuckoo as you want, I'm unbalanced too.
Fixing the garden, I'm coming to rally you, had to go splatter you, run you off of your avenue while I laugh at you. The money fucking you, my figment of the appearance igneous, run you off a district. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. Red gang, best be holding your tongue. The bloody north where the soldiers is from.
you set me high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. Wait for mad, yeah, best be holding your tongue to play north where the soldiers is from. Chicago City where we blast shots. Then to the last block, your man mentality, cause all of us niggas cash robbers. Home for big game walkers and feeling cash crops. Money growing trees and sturdy poles. Crack pops. Run the block, get a key, keep it padlocked. And listen animals, watch your dog, judge, trash talk. We pack blocks and smoke weed, we head like Sasquatch. Fuck my niggas, roll your son to dig you out of the sandbox. Better yet, I crash your plane, spit on the black box. My pussy Charlie train of cocaine higher for that plug, me that hard. You with more clips is, for instance, the same equivalent as a bed nail in the insects. Ridiculous. Most cats is sweet like licorice. I eat they cool fast, smoke niggas similar to cigarettes. You dig me yet? For the cash, get her in the ass. I belong to burn the fast, believe you colder than the incubator. You rep the team, I know you set me high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. Yeah, best be holding your tongue to play north where the soldiers is from. You rep the team, I know you set me high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. Yeah, best be holding your tongue to play north where the soldiers is from.
I'm from the city where they keep it gully. Pretty niggas robbing out of city niggas, homie. Checking trees, screaming by the OGs. All we do is hold G's. When you please, you small time like the little leagues. Pussy niggas bleed when they fuck with me. Turn like a track star.
Everybody bleeds.
Picture me being scared of a nigga that be the same era as me. It's all real in the hood, they call me absent still. Beside my absent still, I make you feel still and your abs for real. Cook coke like a gourmet chef, perfection. See my dope flow stack up, erection. Not mention me getting love for hoes. Attention, we don't love them hoes. Ladies spark the draw, double crack them all. Niggas don't want war cause they lack the toast.
Yeah, rep the team, I know you set me high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. Yeah, best be holding your tongue to play north where the soldiers is from. Yeah, rep the team, I know you set me high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. Yeah, best be holding your tongue to play north where the soldiers is from.
I think I can handle the news now.
Not going anywhere. We have, again, heavy delays east of Spadina.
Here this guy, so that's not going anywhere. I love the way this guy describes this shit. He describes it like he's in traffic with us.
Construction elsewhere, nothing else.
Oh, he's in 6 fucking traffic jams at a time. So it's great.
Southbound Dufferin ramp to the westbound 407 is closed, and the westbound 407 ramp to the 410 is also off limits for overnight construction. The Toronto International Boat Show, North America's largest indoor boat show. We are summer, January 17th to 26th at the Enercare Center. Visit torontoboatshow.com. Your next report at 9:31, and with the extended forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of minus 12 degrees, skies clearing, wind chill minus 19 in the morning. And tomorrow, mainly sunny. Now, it's below seasonal at minus 7. At least the wind isn't going to be as strong as it was today. Saturday, snow starting in the morning. It'll continue and even get heavier through the afternoon. It's going to impact travel. We've got blowing snow expected as well. And then even some rain mixing in along the lake and through the west end. 10 to 15 centimeters by the time it starts tapering off Saturday night, although some spots to the north and east GTA could walk away with 20 centimeters. Temperatures 0 rising to 3 degrees by Saturday night. And then Sunday, we're back into some lake effect flurries, gusty northwest winds, and possibly a squall line of snow moving through in the afternoon. That could make for some very brief whiteout conditions. Sunday's temperatures falling from -1 down to -6. Tonight, we're down to a low of minus 12 degrees. And right now, we're sitting at -7 with the wind chill -16. We have a few clouds. Pearson Airport -8 and partly cloudy.
Coming up at 9:30, the latest on all this snow we're about to get on Saturday. A special weather statement calling for up to 15 centimeters here in the city, up to 20 centimeters in areas north and east of the city. Well, the details for you straight ahead.
680 News Time, 9:24.
I'm Superintendent Scott Baptist of Toronto Police Traffic Services with a reminder to always drive sober. Whether by alcohol or drugs, or a combination, police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to detect impairment. Driving impaired comes with serious consequences, including the loss of your license, vehicle impoundment, fines, insurance increases, jail time, and more. Thank you for driving sober. A message from Arrive Alive Drive Sober
and the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police.
When you need to know. Breaking news.
There is a major power outage in the city.
Traffic. How about this for another piece of good news? Problems approaching Davis have also cleared.
And we are watching a pretty strong cell that does have the capability of producing a tornado.
When you need to know. We're here. This is 680 News.
Who will be singing the U.S. national anthem at this year's Super Bowl? ABC's Jason Nathanson has an idea.
It's cool for the Super Bowl. The singer's been tapped for the honor of performing the national anthem. That means the anthem and the halftime show will be performed by Latina women. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira are handling halftime duties. The Super Bowl airs February 2nd on Fox.
Lovato has mostly taken a break from performing since a reported overdose in July of 2018.
Smaller businesses can't keep up with the big guys. With help from 680 News.
My name is Steve Forberg, and I'm the CEO of Decorium. Decorium is a retail furniture showroom. My family's been in the furniture business for over 3 generations now. The only station that we're on the radio with is 680 News.
How does 680 News help you achieve your advertising goals?
Well, our advertising goal is to reach, obviously, as many of our demographic as we possibly can. And with 680 News, that gives us the ability to get a greater reach out into the marketplace over some other mainstream medias.
What type of response has Decorium had from 680 News listeners?
When we get on 680 News and our spots hit the air, our phone starts ringing. We can see an uptick in our in-store traffic, and it really creates the awareness that we're looking for.
Would you recommend 680 News to others?
I would absolutely recommend advertising on 680 News to other businesses. Our feeling is if you're going to be on the radio, you might as well do it at the station.
Get 680 News working for you. Call 680 News Advertising at 416-935-NEWS. 680 News at 926.
Have a business report brought to you by Numero Uno Web Solutions. Richard Southern.
Good evening. If you've ever felt guilty about leaving your dog at home alone, Spotify may have something to ease that guilt. The Swedish audio streaming.
You kidding me? I'm all grinding on the fucking cold snow and ice. Dog's chilling in here.
Fuck off. The playlists are based on the owner's musical tastes as well as the pet species. They're designed, though, to alleviate your pet's stress. They run about 5 hours, and they're interspersed with some calming human voices. It got us to thinking, what would we have for a dog? And I think there's an easy answer. No question what we play for your cat. What's a cat? If you got a bird, I think some Nelly Furtado might be on the agenda. An easy one to play for your fish. Animal rights experts say they're actually on board with this move by Spotify. Well, many traders singing a happy tune again as the Bay Wall Street stock market closed at historic highs.
The dog care what it's listening to?
69.17,484. Banking stocks look good. Ballard Power led the way with a 4% gain. Aurora Canada's higher to $2.79. Really helping the mood today was news that the U.S. Senate passed the renegotiated NAFTA, the USMCA. That news helping Wall Street as well. The Dow up 267.
I swear that sounds like a rapper or something.
29,297. S&P 500 up 27
artist formerly known as NAFTA.
3,300. The NASDAQ gaining 98 or 1%. Tech stocks strong. Speaking of tech stocks, Alphabet, the Google parent company, hitting $1 trillion market capitalization, making it the 4th U.S. company to hit that major milestone after Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft.
Kind of sounds like the dollar devalues. Not like all these companies did something new.
76.69 cents U.S. Top stories are next on 680 News.
Do you work hard to grow your business?
Technically, in Canadian dollars, it was $1 billion a while ago. We should look that up. What was it in Canadian dollars? Those are cross-listed securities. You can fucking buy them up here.
Business growth experts can increase your website's traffic to get you more customers so you can grow
You can buy them off the New York Exchange up here anyway.
NumeroUnoWeb.ca and check their 4.9 out of 5 Google rating to see all the businesses who have used Numero Uno to get them more customers. Get the help you need to grow your business today at NumeroUnoWeb.ca. Are you struggling with your up-close reading vision? Need a larger font size on your phone to read text messages? After LASIK-MD's PresbyVision procedure, these challenges will be a thing of the past. PresbyVision is designed to treat up-close reading vision loss as well as nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism, so you can see near, far, and everything in between without glasses, bifocals, or contacts. And for a limited time, save up to 20% on your procedure. Book your free no-obligation consultation today at LASIKMD.com. It's time for the 680 News
I paid
Business Travelers
$1,990 for PRK, no problems. I got 2020 or better. Not even joking.
School of Business right here in
LASIK
Toronto.
MD downtown Toronto. No tax.
Toronto.com.
Edmonton tomorrow foggy minus 24 degrees. Montreal clear and minus 18. If you're off to Boston, clear and minus 7. This is CFTR 680 News at 9:30.
Number one for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Scott Burnett and Christine Ritchie.
Good evening. This is Thursday, January 16th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
Snow and lots of it making its way here this weekend, but how much will you get? As always, that depends on where you are in the GTA.
A woman is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a vehicle in a Walmart parking lot in the Keelan Lawrence area. 2 others were struck in the same incident.
A former Canadian military reservist who was accused of being a neo-Nazi has been arrested in the United States.
Thanks to a huge investment from Ottawa, $200 million,
there will
now be 4 times as many affordable housing units going up where Honest Ed's used to stand.
80% of market rent. Instead of 1,500, you're going to pay 12. That's great. The welfare check is 700.
Sports at 45.
Scott Page wants to push further into historic highs. TSX up another 69 points. And look who's coming to the neighborhood. Starbucks eyeing a different type of clientele business at 56.
Time 9:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by Alterna Savings. Just a horrible drive if you're on the eastbound Gardner. From Jarvis to Cherry, we have those long-term lane restrictions, so there was only 2 lanes open here. Has been from that way for several months. But now we have the left lane blocked and making it even worse, and this is for pothole repairs. So only 1 lane is open through this area, and it's jammed from east of Spadina over to Jarvis as you head into these lane restrictions. Right at the point where you lose the right lane, you also lose the left lane, so you go from 3 lanes to 1. Just like that. As you travel towards this area, well, if you're heading through downtown, I would take the Lakeshore instead. The eastbound Gardner is just a complete write-off right now from east of Spadina over to Cherry, basically. If you're on the remainder of the highways, not bad anywhere else. We have construction, so you might see a lane restriction or 2 elsewhere, but no other delays. We do have ramp closures on the 407. Southbound Dufferin ramp to the westbound 407 closed, and the westbound 407 ramp to the northbound southbound 410. Also off limits for overnight maintenance. Saving for retirement doesn't have to be scary. Talk to an advisor at Alterna Savings about the best plan for you. Visit alterna.ca to book an appointment. Alterna Savings, discover the good in banking. Your next report at 9:41, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramza. Hi.
High pressure moving in, and that's going to lighten up the winds overnight tonight and also clear out the sky. So it's mainly sunny tomorrow. Morning temperature minus 12 degrees. The afternoon minus 7, feeling like minus 11 at the warmest point of the day. Through the night tonight, we're down to low minus 12, wind chill minus 19 in the morning.
Downtown Toronto, we've got a mostly clear sky. Minus 5, feeling like minus 16. 680 News Time, 9:33.
It says on the rights and responsibilities of patients. The doctors are supposed to talk to each other. This guy refused to talk to anybody. I asked if he knew anything about these disorders. He said no. I said, is there anybody else who you could ask a question?
For most of southern Ontario.
680's Stuart McGinn is on the Weather Watch and joins us with what you can expect.
Between 8 and 10 o'clock Saturday morning is when it starts, with this winter storm expected to move out by Sunday. So meteorologist Natasha Ramza, how much are we talking?
Snowfall amounts will be in the 10 to 15 centimeter range, but of course, it's the intensity of the snow that makes all the difference.
That intensity set to reach its peak Saturday afternoon. And for anyone north and east of Toronto, areas like Caledon, Markham, Uxbridge, or Durham, snowfall totals could reach 20 centimeters. Relief, though, will come in the form of rain showers, washing away some accumulation as temperatures rise overnight Saturday.
Best chance for that right along the lakeshore.
But at this time of the year, isn't perspective always important? We don't have it all that bad. Newfoundland right now, they're getting pounded with 70 centimeters of snow and hurricane force winds up to 140 kilometers an hour.
The fucking security guard grabbed me up out of there when I'm waiting for the fucking prescription.
A woman in her 30s remains in hospital in life-threatening condition tonight after she was struck by a vehicle driven by an elderly woman in the parking lot lot of a Walmart in North York. City's Phil Martino has the latest from the scene.
Security
It
guard
was
is fucking
supposed to be a
manhandling me,
regular
trying to throw me
shopping
on the
day
ground
for
to make
two
it look like I'm
Walmart
fucking doing
customers,
something.
but it turned into something else. Toronto Police Sergeant Jason Croft says just before 1 p.m., a vehicle hit a woman in her 30s and a mother pushing her baby in a stroller. The woman in her 30s suffered life-threatening injuries.
We have another female in her 30s, a 17-month-old child. Both that female and the child were checked out by ambulance services at scene and not transported to hospital.
Police say the driver is a woman in her 70s. She was not injured in the incident. This Walmart customer says it's scary.
And I come to this Walmart all the time, and it makes you realize that you really have to take a second look.
Police say at this point they don't know what caused the collision. I'm Phil Martino.
The Premier held his first news conference of the year today, criticizing the heads of Ontario's teachers' union, saying the groups have bad leadership. Doug Ford says his government will not give in to demands for increased compensation. Ford was also asked if he would consider legislation to end job action.
We're going back to the legislature, I believe it's February 18th, and we plan on going back there, and hopefully we can get a deal done by then. And I believe in treating our teachers fairly.
Teachers in the French school system started a Work to Rule campaign today. There will be 2 one-day walkouts affecting public elementary schools next week.
And as parents try to make alternate arrangements for childcare ahead of next week's planned teacher strike, some have been wondering if the city might be able to help. 680's Momin Qureshi is at City Hall. He joins us with what you need to know.
If you're a parent in Toronto scrambling to find somewhere to send your children during the one-day strikes next week, unfortunately, Mayor Tory says the city won't be able to provide any day camps or drop-ins.
I can't create an expectation at this stage that we will be offering programs.
Because we don't have the facilities or the fucking money or the staff or the volunteers.
You may have some better luck with places including Richmond Hill, Vaughan, and Markham offering programs. Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti does have one piece of advice.
Book early. It's first come, first served. We just don't have the capacity to be able to deal with all of the kids and families that will be impacted.
You can find details on what's being offered on your local city or town's website. At City Hall, I'm Momin Qureshi.
Progress is being made at the former site of Honest Ed's. The lot at Bathurst and Bloor will soon be home to hundreds of desperately needed rental units, including affordable housing. 680's Mark Douglas joins us from Mirvish Village with more.
Out here in the annex, people still miss Honest Ed's.
But it was very iconic, and, it marked the city.
But at least the apartment complex going up where the old store used to be is now going to have about 4 times the number of affordable housing units as originally planned, thanks to a huge investment from Ottawa. $200 million. And that's Ahmed Hussein, the minister in charge of Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. The agency is securing 366 affordable housing units out of the more than 900 rental units coming to Mirvish Village.
Rents that are less than 30% of the median household income.
And those
But we're not at the median household income, buddy. We're below the poverty line.
Of Toronto rental market value. From Bathurst and Bloor, I'm Mark Douglas.
The Provincial Liberal Party has gained another seat at Queen's Park, but as we hear from Richard Southern, the party is still a long way off from reclaiming official party status.
It's Amanda Samar joining the Liberal caucus. The first-term MPP has been sitting as an independent for more than a year after quitting the PC caucus to protest Premier Ford's cuts to French language services. She says she's teaming up with the Grits.
This is the party that truly respects and understands the people of my riding, my community, and our province.
The Liberals now have 6 seats at Queen's Park, still 6 shy of official party status. Her announcement comes, though, as a new poll shows the Liberals out in front with 33% support in the province. Richard Southern, 680 News.
A former Canadian military reservist who was accused of being a neo-Nazi before disappearing last summer has been arrested in the U.S. The FBI says Patrick Matthews was one of 3 men taken into custody this morning. Matthews first made headlines last summer when he was accused of being a major recruiter for a neo-Nazi group. His truck was later found abandoned in southern Manitoba near the U.S. border. Matthews says one other person were arrested in Delaware, while the third person was arrested in Maryland.
And for all the royal watchers, Prince Harry went back to work today and is set to carry on with his royal duties into next week. He launched the next Invictus Games for wounded service personnel and veterans and introduced a new mental health initiative for those who play
the prince right here doing what I'm doing.
Meantime, the Duchess Duchess of Sussex is here in Canada, where the couple plans to live part-time after receiving the Queen's approval Monday at a family meeting. Coming up in 30
Stop
seconds,
doing
we'll take a
nothing?
look at gas prices.
Fuck are you people talking about?
9:39. This is the first sound you hear when we get
Give me
hit
this
by
shit about how
snowstorm.
hard their life is. I want to hear it.
And this is the second sound you hear. Snow plows on the DVP and the Gardner. When it snows, the city has over 5,600 kilometers of roads to salt and plow. And in order to get more people where they need to go safely, we clear expressways, major roads, and transit routes first, before moving on to residential streets. It's how we keep you moving, Toronto. Get to know the plan for snow at toronto.ca/snow.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will drop 1 cent at midnight to $1.14.9 a liter at most GTA stations.
680 News time at 9:40.
When businesses join forces with 680 News, it's the start of a beautiful friendship.
Hey, it's Sam from Best Brand Appliance. We are one of the largest premier appliance distributors in all of Canada for both retail and wholesale.
How long have you been advertising with 680?
We've been with 680 for about 4 or 5 years now. Business is fantastic thanks to 680. It's doing unbelievable.
How do you like working with your account manager at 680 News?
Dan's the man. He gives us some great creative ideas. Everyone that we've worked with so far at 680 has been unbelievable.
What type of response has Best Brand Appliance received from 680 News?
We got such a great response, and the foot traffic was huge. Our website traffic, once we started on 680, went up by 34%.
How has 680 News helped you achieve your advertising goals?
We're looking for a premium audience with a household income of a certain amount for what we do. We found that 680 has the exact demographic that our client is.
Would you recommend 680 News to others?
680 is definitely for you. You should be doing 680.
Okay, Google, I got some really shitty white trash questions.
Call 680 News Advertising.
How many Walmarts are there in Toronto?
News time 9:41.
With a look at traffic, here's Kyle Hawking.
Brought to you by Shoppers Drug Mart. If you're just getting in the car, having left the Leafs game, and you're planning to get onto the eastbound Gardner, don't. Just take the Lakeshore instead over to the DVP or wherever you have to go. Don't touch the eastbound Gardner. We've got construction going on, of course, the long-term construction, but now pothole repairs as well, right in the same area from Jarvis over to Cherry. Only one lane is open because of these pothole repairs and the long-term construction combination. So a very heavy drive approaching York over to Cherry Street because of this. These lane restrictions. Take the Lakeshore instead. If you're planning on jumping onto the westbound Gardner, no problems here. So that's smooth sail. You can use that without any problems. The other delay I'm seeing now is northbound on the 400, north of King Road. We've got a few kilometers worth of heavy traffic here, and it's because north of King Road, we've got 2 left lanes blocked for construction. So that's really jamming things up through this area. The rest of the highways are in pretty good shape outside of those 2 jam-ups. We've got lane restrictions at a couple of other spots for construction. Nothing else causing delays. You want to be aware of some ramp closures, though. The southbound Dufferin ramp to the westbound 407 is closed, and also the westbound 407 ramp to the north and southbound 410 also shut for overnight construction. Open your PC Optimum app to load your offers and get 20 times the points this Friday and Sunday. This Friday to Sunday at Shoppers Drug Mart. Restrictions apply. See digital coupon for details. Your next report at 9:51, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Tonight we're dropping to -12, wind chill -19 in the morning. Winds will be getting lighter, so it is going to be just a light breeze. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, but cold at -7, wind chill -11. Saturday, getting up to 0 degrees in the afternoon, rising to 3 degrees by the evening. So with incoming precipitation, it's going to change from a fluffy snow, which starts in the morning, heavy snow through the afternoon, wet snow in the evening, and possibly even mixing some rain in by Saturday overnight. It's also going to be windy, especially late in the day Saturday, up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. Through the night tonight, temperatures dropping to -12, wind chill -19 by the morning.
Right now in downtown Toronto, we've got a few clouds sitting at -7 degrees, feeling like
I really got to know.
-16. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport. 680 News time 9:43.
Coming up in health and lifestyle news at 9:48. A new study out on the risks for women when it comes to heart health, and it's different than for men. That story ahead. Hi, it's Ivanka Oznak. Normally, I'm a sports anchor for Sportsnet, but today I'm spreading the news about Sleep Country's Aqua Gel pillow. To be honest, I've never even heard of a gel pillow before their sleep experts suggested I try it out, and I'm glad they did. The pillow is so comfortable. It's made with a water-based gel, so it's a super breathable alternative to memory foam that cradles your neck and keeps you cool. I've always been a little picky about my pillow, But that was totally embraced when I went to Sleep Country. Their sleep experts are sleep obsessed. It was amazing to see all the options they could recommend based on just a few things I told them about my sleeping habits. So really, no matter how you sleep, I'm sure they'll be able to recommend a great pillow to you. Plus, right now, when you buy one AquaGel pillow, you get a second AquaGel pillow free. Get matched to your perfect pillow at Sleep Country or order online at sleepcountry.ca today. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It's -7, feeling like -16 with the wind chill. We have a few clouds. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Christine Ritchie.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here are the top stories this hour.
Less than a week ago, we were grabbing for our umbrellas with record level rain accumulation. Well, now time to reach for the shovel. Environment Canada is out with a special weather statement warning of snow moving in early Saturday, leaving behind up to 10 to 15 centimeters of snow.
There have been multiple reports of robberies targeting food delivery people in the city's East End since Friday. It's alleged that orders were placed for food deliveries and a group would be waiting at the address, sometimes armed, to rob the delivery person and steal the food. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward.
And some good news, Better Call Saul has been renewed for a 6th and final season consisting of 13 episodes that will air in 2021. The upcoming 5th season debuts next month on AMC. The Breaking Bad prequel will air 10 episodes this year.
I am excited. For these stories and more, open up the 680 app or head to 680news.com.
680 News Time, 9:45. Now, 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks, Christine. Well, it took a shootout to ultimately decide tonight's Leafs-Flames game, and in the end, Calgary came away with the win.
Here he comes, right-handed shooter, weaves to the left wing side, top of the circle, slows in, shoots into the pad of Riddick. And the Calgary Flames are going to win in a shootout by a score of
2019, June. That's what I fucking thought. These last 6 months. This guy's trying to tell me I haven't had him in a long time.
The Chicago Blackhawks at Scotiabank Arena. Other scores include the Canadiens beating the Flyers 4-1, Bruins are curling the Penguins 3-1, and the Golden Knights are leading the Senators 4-1. Hurricanes defenseman Dougie Hamilton had to be helped off the ice versus the Blue Jackets. Meanwhile, his left leg got caught beneath him as he fell. We'll give you an update on that as the night goes on. And just a few minutes left in the CHL NHL Top Prospects game at Hamilton. Team White leads Team Red 5-2. You can watch the last couple of minutes on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 360. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
And this forecast brought to you by Bodog.net at 680 News Time, 9:47. Sometimes just an idea isn't enough to make your dream renovation become a reality. Leverage the equity you have in your home and turn your house into the space you've always dreamed of. Whether it's home renovations, college tuition, or the trip you've always wanted to surprise your family with, now's the time to let your house lend a hand. Whether you need $20, $30, or $300,000, Capital Direct is here to help. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL. CapitalDirect.ca.
The hunt is on. City TV. Lincoln Rhyme, forensic criminologist, obsessed in his pursuit of a diabolical serial killer known only as the Bone Collector, a master criminal who has evaded justice.
You are not answering my question. I'm on the fucking Walmart site. 411 in Canada is great. That tells me about the case. I want to know.
Lincoln Rhyme, Hunt for the Bone Collector. Fridays, 8/7 Central on City TV.
680 News Time, 9:48. A new study by researchers at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center suggests women's blood pressure rises more rapidly than men's over the course of their lives.
The study compared men to men and women to women with follow-ups over 4 decades. It found women's blood pressure went up faster and higher at a younger age than for men. ABC's Dr. Jennifer Ashton says researchers don't know why, but some factors could include
there's hormonal influences at play in women. There can be genetic or chromosomal factors.
I think
the way women and men process or live life and environmental differences can be at play.
The good news, high blood pressure can be regulated. Ashton says 80% preventable. Knowing your health and family history along with watching your cholesterol and what you eat. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Sunnybrook Hospital took its new helipad for a test run today. The inaugural landing included teams from both the hospital and Orange Air Ambulance to make sure they're ready when the first real patient arrives. The new landing site above M Wing at the Bayview campus is expected to begin accepting patients soon. More than 2,000 critically injured people are rushed or flown to Sunnybrook each year. And countries who lost citizens in last week's Ukrainian plane crash in Iran emerged from a Canada-led meeting today with 5 demands for the Iranian regime.
One of the key demands from this meeting held in London is that the Iranian regime compensate the families of victims. Our Foreign Affairs Minister, Francois-Philippe Champagne, who chaired the gathering, says they also want assurances from Iran around the victim identification process.
Is conducted with dignity, transparency, and according to international standards.
You're going to get a piece of paper with a stick figure drawn on it, and they're going to tell you that's the documentation.
Are respected.
The countries are also calling for full access for consular officials and investigators and an independent criminal investigation. The Trudeau government is exploring the option of compensating victims' families in the interim, since the international investigation could take years to complete. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Coming up, traffic and weather together on the ones. And Toronto police say they have nabbed a 24-year-old nighttime prowler. 680 News Time, 9:50.
OFX are
Don't
global
catch
money
guys like
transfer
that. Leave me the
specialists,
fuck
helping
alone.
people and businesses thrive in a fast-moving and evolving world. Whether you're a business looking to enter the global marketplace, a son or daughter sending money to family back home, or a retiree dreaming of an exotic next chapter,
Total retail units
across borders with confidence. OFX combines a streamlined digital experience, 24/7 human support, and competitive rates. It's how the world moves money. More at OFX.com.
I joined because I wanted to help others.
To be a part of something
You gotta know how many
To show my
McDonald's
kids
there are.
what's important.
I don't
joined
know,
to make
but
my community
somebody
stronger.
tracks that. They
To
have
make a difference in someone's life.
to acknowledge that our freedoms come at a cost.
I joined to honor my mom,
My grandpa,
my neighbor,
everyone who served.
who are serving still. Honoring veterans is our duty. Join today at legion.ca/join.
680 News Time, 9:51.
With a look at the roads, here's Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by 407 ETR. A terrible drive continues on the
Good
eastbound
question,
Gardner. They're
Mark.
doing
Although I
pothole
think it's
repairs
formality.
as you head through Jarvis over to Cherry. So we have not only the long-term lane restrictions in place here, where we've got just 2 lanes getting through. Now they've blocked off an extra lane Toronto Transportation has. The left lane's also closed. So it's just 1 lane getting through from Jarvis over to Cherry Street because of these pothole repairs and that long-term construction that's been going on for months. And it's heavy approaching York over to Cherry through this construction. Crusade should wrap up around midnight. However, it is just jammed through this area, so you may want to take the Lakeshore instead. It's moving up to speed. The rest of the highways, not too bad. We do have a heavy spot, though, on the northbound 400 north of King Road. A few kilometers worth of heavy traffic, and that's because of construction going on north of King Road. 2 left lanes are blocked. Only a
You
single
have
right
almost
lane is
precisely
open
10%
through
as
this
many as
stretch.
the United
If you're traveling to
States
407,
at
we've
any
got
given time. You have like 400
ramp closures. Southbound Dufferin
400
ramp to the west 407
I want
closed.
to know how many
And
is in
also
my
the
city.
ramp to the 410. Westbound 407 ramp to the 410 closed as well for construction. Westbound
Somebody
401,
knows the answer
and
to
they're
that
just in the process of closing the north and southbound Keel ramps to the west 401 as you travel towards this area. That's for overnight construction. 407 ETR drivers say they save 20 to 60 minutes per trip. 407 ETR manages traffic for an excellent driving experience. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report at 10:01, and with the extended forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
A calm Friday, a messy weekend ahead. We are going to be mainly sunny tomorrow. We're starting off at minus 12 in the morning, getting up to minus 7 during the afternoon, so it's below seasonal. And warmer on Saturday, 0 degrees, rising to 3 by Saturday evening, although we do have this snow, which is going to be starting early Saturday. It is going to slow down travel all day long, heaviest of the snow through the afternoon, and it's going to start mixing in some rain, especially along the lakeshore. West End into some rainfall, Hamilton, Burlington, and so that's going to lower some of the snowfall amounts there. This is a good 10 to 15 centimeters. Could even see a couple of pockets of 20, though, to the north and east, and gusty winds. Sunday, there will be some lake effect flurries, blowing snow at times, and could even be heavy with whiteout conditions at times through the afternoon. Sunday's temperatures -1 in the morning, falling to -6. Tonight, we're dropping to a low of -12 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now, it's a chilly one, -7, feeling like -16 with the wind. Similar conditions over at Pearson
Motherfucker jabbed me in the fucking neck.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Uriset Cream and Lotion. Is winter weather irritating your skin? Uriset Cream and Lotion will provide temporary relief for rough, cracked, dry skin. Available at your local pharmacy. Visit the website at uriset.com. To be sure this product is right for you, always read and follow the label. Coming up at 10 o'clock, the latest on a good weekend to do some binge watching. A special weather statement is in effect for Toronto and for Southern Ontario with 10 to 15 centimeters of snow on the way starting early Saturday morning. Expect higher snowfall numbers north and east of Toronto. 6:80 News Time, 9:54.
Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe tomorrow's goals feel so far away. What if we told you that maybe you're closer than you think? That a simple conversation can spark something amazing. Your savings and investments can stand for so much more when they don't stand still. And Scotiabank can help every step of the way. Energize your investing. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
Santa got you that smart speaker you always wanted. Now there's no excuse to be late for that morning meeting.
Get the latest traffic and weather before you leave.
Simply ask to play 680 News.
I need a
680 News Time, 9:55. Toronto police have arrested a 24-year-old man in connection with their Prowl by Night investigation. Police say between January 2nd and January 5th, officers responded to 3 separate calls for a prowler in the Bloor Street West and Prince Edward Drive area in the evening hours. They executed a search warrant at a home in the Park Lawn Road and Barrie Road area this week that led to a suspect. Ryan Perry of Toronto is charged with 3 counts of Prowl by Night and 3 counts of mischief. Up in a minute's time, we'll have the business report.
680 News Time, 9:55.
Your email checking, writing, ignoring is on track. You're okay, just one more step.
More time? What if you do it in the daytime? That's not illegal.
On track. You're catching up with the
Okay,
gossip.
Google, I got
and
more
finally
sick questions
catching up
for
with
you.
you
You're
is
gonna
on
love
track.
Canada
Your
after this.
gazing at the snowy view is definitely on track. Your photo taking,
gonna
filter
type
choosing,
that in?
instant
Oh, my
payment,
God.
yeah, they're on track. Your green tea sipping, cozy wool sock loving, left, right, lefting,
Okay,
and just
you know
getting
what
out of
I'm
town
looking for.
is on track. You're on
I'm gonna
track to
close.
loving winter travel with Via Rail. Via Rail Canada. Love the way. You don't buy
That's
office
interesting.
chairs from the back of a truck, get suits from the Dollar Mart. Reuse yesterday's coffee. Buy an office that's falling apart. Don't hire an intern as your CEO. Raccoons to clear your trash. Treat clients to a fast food lunch. You dial up to save some cash. You get what you pay for. So be careful what you choose. Use your original HP toner. Yeah, you just can't lose. 100%
No
reliable,
shit.
environmentally responsible. Always trust original HP toner.
Now the business report. Here's Richard Southern.
Good evening, look who's coming to the neighborhood. Starbucks, home of the $5 latte. In fact, some jokingly call it $5. Anyways, they're moving into 4 areas now. Starbucks confirming this today, announcing plans to remodel a number of stores over the next 5 years in rural and urban communities. Each one will hire local staff, including construction crews and artists as well. The program could be seen as a bit unusual for a chain. However, unlike McDonald's, which relies almost entirely on franchises, Starbucks has its own standalone stores and therefore can open them wherever they want. Starbucks stock up 1.1% at $92.58. Brewing up another big win. Broader markets hit fresh record highs today. On some positive trade news, TSX up 69 points, 17,484, all-time high. No stop on the Dow. It picks up another 267 points to 29,297. S&P up 27 points. The NASDAQ up 98. Anthony Accoli, TD Bank.
Yeah, we saw, again, markets sort of reacting to the recent trade deals, which have removed a lot of uncertainty in the markets. Of course, yesterday we saw the signing of the trade pact between the U.S. and China, phase 1 trade deal. Today, it was the USMCA, which kind of gives U.S. producers better access to Canadian markets, and both of the passage of those trade pacts have really helped boost sentiment on the markets.
Price for gold at $1,552 US the ounce. On Bay Street, some of the best performers included Ballard Power up 4%, $14.40, and Aurora Cannabis picking up 3.75% today to $2.79. The Canadian dollar trades at 76.68 cents US. Stay tuned. Traffic and weather and the day's top stories are next on 680 News.
24-hour gaming excitement awaits you at Casino Ajax. Test your luck on over 900 of your favorite slot machines and 50 electronic table games. Hungry? We have daily dining specials from 4 to 11 p.m. at spectacular.
Criminal code. This is section 177. Every person who, without lawful excuse, loiters or prowls at night on the property of another person near a dwelling house situated on that property is guilty of an offense punishable on summary conviction. That's a very specific thing. So if you're not near the house, or if it's daytime, it's okay? Like, what the fuck? That's the fucking actual... I can't believe that.
This hour, -4 with a few clouds. Right now, downtown, -7, -16 with the wind chill. 680 news time, 10 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Scott Burnett and Christine Ritchie.
Good evening. This is Thursday, January 16th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
It's time to let reality set back in. It's winter, and it's going to feel like it this weekend. A big snowstorm starts Saturday morning.
Toronto police are trying to figure out what caused a vehicle to strike 3 pedestrians in a Walmart parking lot in the Keele and Lawrence area. One of those pedestrians is in hospital fighting for her life.
A 30-year-old man facing charges after allegedly entering a school and attacking kindergarten students.
Ottawa is putting $200 million into the apartment complex going up where Honest Ed's used to stand. The goal? More affordable housing.
Flames beat the Leafs in the shootout down at Scotiabank Arena, and some early finals around a busy night in the NHL. Sports at 15.
Let the good times roll. TSX down. NASDAQ hit record highs again, but investors hit the sell button big time on Bombardier. Business at 26.
The Canadian Time, 10:01.
Well, it's time for traffic and weather together on the ones. First up, the traffic center. We say good evening, Caroline Donahue.
Good evening, Scott and Christine. This report is brought to you by the 407 ETR. We just have a couple of hot spots on the major routes this evening. We'll start with the eastbound Gardner. Approaching Jarvis to Cherry, it is down to a single lane, unfortunately. Now, that is between that stretch where we've got the long-term construction. So they took out another lane for some pothole repairs. You're just left with one lane. Now, this is expected to wrap up around midnight, but we're seeing really heavy delays from approaching York. Also, if you've just left the Leafs game, make sure you take the Lakeshore instead of the Gardner because it's going to be a much quicker drive. Eastbound on the 403 at King Road, a left lane is closed off. And if you're traveling on the westbound QEW at Winston Churchill Boulevard, a left lane is closed off for some construction. Now, the next hot spot we're seeing on the northbound 400, just north of King Road, we have 2 left lanes closed off for some maintenance. That's causing some backup right now. It's not too bad, but we're going to keep an eye on that one for you because it's not looking like it's going to clear up anytime soon there. Otherwise, on the eastbound 401, nothing to report right now. It's looking like a pretty decent drive. On the westbound 401, just a few spots of construction. At Yonge in the Express, the right lane's closed off, and then at Keele in the Collectors, 2 right lanes blocked. We've also got the Keele ramps to the westbound 401 shut down at this time. And
6 months jail or $5,000
we're seeing a bunch of construction as well. So just west of Yonge, we have 4 left lanes closed off for some pothole repairs. Southbound Dufferin ramp to the west 407 rather is closed. And then if you're on the westbound 407, you will not have access to the 410. 407 ETR saves drivers 30 million hours of time each year, giving you more time for the things that matter the most. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report 10:11 with the forecast. Natasha Ramsahai.
Skies clearing tonight, winds getting lighter. It's cold though tonight and tomorrow, slightly below seasonal as we start off at -12, wind chill -19 in the morning. Tomorrow's high just -7 degrees. Tonight we're down to a low of -12 degrees.
And right now we're sitting at -7, feeling like -16 when you factor in the lovely wind chill. We have a few clouds on the Pearson Airport, -8 and partly cloudy there. 680 News Time, 10:03.
Kind of a lovely wind chill, but it might be time to stock up on the washer fluid and grab the shovel as well. A winter storm is moving in our direction.
And as 680 Stuart McGinn reports, come Saturday, the storm will hit Toronto and all areas north and east of the city.
It's a reminder that, yeah, it's January because so far winter has been relatively kind to us, tracking the system hitting much of southern Ontario this weekend. Our meteorologist Natasha Ransom-High says the snow will start on Saturday morning.
Heaviest of that snow is expected to be throughout the afternoon, so that could be the period that will cause the most impact in terms of travel.
But then there will be relief for those who live along the lake.
By Saturday evening and overnight, temperatures are actually continuing to rise. We could hit 3 or 4 degrees.
And with that, rain will wash away some of the snow accumulation. Still, though, in Toronto, we're looking at possibly 10 to 15 centimeters, with up to 20 centimeters possible for areas north and east of the city. I'm Stuart McGinn.
A woman remains in hospital tonight with critical injuries after being struck by a vehicle in a parking lot of a Walmart in North York. 2 other pedestrians also struck. 680's Phil Martino reports the driver was an elderly woman.
Toronto police say a vehicle hit 3 pedestrians outside the Walmart doors just before 1 p.m. According to Sergeant Jason Croft, a woman in her 30s suffered life-threatening injuries. A mother and her 17-month-old were assessed at the scene. Both are okay.
Investigators from traffic services are here gathering physical evidence, looking at video, and speaking to witnesses.
The driver, a woman in her 70s, remained at the scene. Police say she was not injured in the incident. This Walmart shopper tells me she'll take a second look the next time she comes out of those Walmart doors.
Sometimes with the congestion in this parking lot, maybe there needs to be better signage for where the pedestrian crossing is so it's clear to all the drivers.
At this point, police say the cause of the collision is unknown. I'm Phil Martino.
A 30-year-old man is facing charges after allegedly entering a school and attacking kindergarten students.
I think you get that in the AARP book.
York Region Police responded to a call just before 1 p.m. yesterday at Our Lady of Good Counsel Catholic Elementary School in East Gwillimbury. They say a man allegedly hopped a fence and tried to hit kids with a pole. The school was in lockdown when officers arrived and the suspect was contained inside a vehicle. The suspect was then placed under arrest. Paramedics transferred one student to hospital with a serious injury.
Police tell City News the man has a cognitive impairment and left a nearby residence armed with a curtain rod.
2 Mississauga men have been indicted for allegedly helping support Pakistan's nuclear program. The U.S. Justice Department says an 82-year-old and his 48-year-old son were part of an international network that trafficked materials such as aircraft parts and satellite equipment. The other 3 charged include another of the man's sons in Pakistan, as well as 2 other men in the UK and Hong Kong. Each of the 5 men has been charged with 2 counts of conspiracy. None of the allegations have been proven in court. Premier Doug Ford holding his first news conference of the year today, but the Q&A with media afterwards quickly moved into the current labor dispute over education. This comes as teachers in the French school system started a work to rule campaign today, and more than elementary public teachers will stage a second one-day walkout next week. The premier says there is no more money, and the government has already given in to several demands.
This is about compensation. This is about the unions wanting to take $750 million more out of the pockets of the taxpayers.
Ford also defending his government's decision to compensate the parents of children affected by rotating strikes. So far, more than 33,000 parents have applied for the cashback. Well, some parents were wondering if the city might open up extra daycare spaces to accommodate kids affected by next week's strikes. And as we hear from 680's Momin Qureshi, Mayor Tory says the city doesn't have that kind of space.
Parents in Toronto who may be hoping to turn to the city to find somewhere to send their children during the one-day strikes are out of luck. Mayor Tory says the city won't be offering any day camps or drop-ins.
It would be a very big, perhaps not plausible challenge for us to take on.
But north of Toronto, Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti tells me
Markham is ready to help, that's for sure. Families will have options to go to almost every community center throughout the city of Markham with a
we don't have those in Toronto,
Scarpitti says those programs fill up quickly, so book early if you can. Other municipalities, including Richmond Hill and Vaughan, are also offering options You can check each municipality's website for details. At City Hall, I'm Roman Qureshi.
680 News Time, 10:08. Toronto police are looking for a missing 10-year-old boy. Terrell Hanchard was last seen around 4 o'clock this afternoon in the Morningside and Souls Road area. He's described as 4'5" with a small build and short black hair. Last seen wearing a gray winter jacket with a fur hood and green and black camouflage top and pants and green shoes. You can see his photo on the Toronto Police Twitter account. Here with All News Radio 680 News. It was one of Toronto's most recognizable corners, and soon it will be home to hundreds of desperately needed rental units.
The Mirvish Village apartment complex going up where Honest Ed's used to stand has over 900 units coming, all of them for rent. The federal government is investing $200 million into the project to make sure that about 360 of those units will be deemed affordable.
100 of those units will be deeply affordable. That means that the rents will be priced at 80% of the average market rent value in Toronto.
And that's Ahmed Hussein, the minister in charge of the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, the source of the funding. More affordable housing in Toronto sounds like a good idea, even to people who still miss Honest Ed's.
We do need more rentals for people that can't afford a $700,000 bachelor condo.
At Bathurst and Bloor, I'm Mark Douglas.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check on the price of the pumps.
680 News Time, 10:09.
This is Toronto's 680 News.
Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe tomorrow's goals feel so far away. What if we told you that maybe you're closer than you think? That a simple conversation can spark something amazing. Your savings and investments can stand for so much more when they don't stand still. And Scotiabank can help every step of the way. Energize your investing. You're richer than you think.
So it says the 2000, I guess, would have to be last year. 1,270
update and predicting the price of gas will drop a cent at midnight to $1.14.9 a liter.
680 News Time, 10:10. An all-inclusive winter beach vacation should make you feel like $1 million. And with Sunwing's limited time $1 million beach blowout sale, it will, but for a lot less.
Easily affordable.
With millions
That's
of
something
dollars
you're
in
getting fucked
unbeatable
harder,
savings
right?
at top-rated resorts in our most popular destinations, there has never been a better time to vacation better. But hurry, these blowout savings are going fast. Book by January 17th with your travel agent or Some live to ski, others ski to live. Introducing Bluemont, Blue Mountain chalet living on 60-foot executive lots. Steps from the mountain.
Over here it says 2,300.
You and your family.
I don't know, but that's not too far out either. I don't know how many fucking new condos there
For
are.
more information or directions to our sales office, visit Fremont.com. 10:11.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
Thank you, Scott. This report is brought to you by Alterna Savings. We have a new problem right now on the eastbound 401. So just at the DVP or the 404 there in the collector lanes, we have 2 left lanes now closed off due to a collision. Emergency crews are on the scene. We're seeing a bit of backup. It's pretty much backed up right now to Don Mills. So not too bad, but it's going to start to grow. The ramp also, if you're coming southbound on the 404, trying to get onto the eastbound 401, that's really jammed up right now as well. So just a heads up, it's going to be a little slow going through that stretch. Then backtracking here on the eastbound 401 at Mississauga Road, we have 2 right lanes closed off. And then the northbound Mississauga Road ramp to the eastbound 401 is shut down as well. If you're on the westbound 401 at Yonge Indy Express, a right lane closed off for some maintenance. At Keele and the collectors, 2 right lanes shut down for construction. And then the Keele ramps, both north and south, headed onto the west 401. They're shut down right now. Another problem we're seeing on the northbound 400, just north of King Road, there's 2 left lanes closed off for some maintenance. That's causing some pretty long backup right now. So what you're going to want to do is actually maybe get off the highway at King Road and then just take another alternate north and hop back on at the next on-ramp, which would be at Davis Drive west or east. So just a heads up for that one. And then the other problem we're seeing on the eastbound Gardner, of course, we have that long-term construction that has taken out 2 lanes. And then we've also got From approaching Jarvis to Cherry, it's down to a single lane for some pothole repairs. So delays right now from approaching York. That's going to clear up at midnight. So if you're headed out of the Leafs game, make sure you take the Lakeshore instead. Saving for retirement doesn't have to be scary. Talk to an advisor at Alternate Savings about the best plan for you. Visit alternatesavings.ca to book an appointment. Alternate Savings, discover the good in banking. With the forecast, here's Natasha Ranzahai.
Between 12
tonight,
and
skies clearing. We are going to lighten up those winds, but it's chilly. We're down to minus 12 degrees. A wind chill of minus 19 is what you need to dress for in the morning. And tomorrow, mainly sunny with a high of just minus 7. Wind chill minus 11, although the winds are much lighter than today. Then Saturday, we're talking about the special weather statement in effect for snow starting in the morning, heaviest during the afternoon, changing from fluffy snow over to heavy wet snow late in the day, and even mixing in some rain possible come Saturday night. Temperatures 0 degrees in the afternoon, rising to 3 degrees by evening. Tonight, we're down to a low of minus 12. And right now in downtown Toronto, minus 7 with a few clouds. Up at Pearson Airport, minus 9 and partly cloudy. 680 News Time, 10:14.
I'm Scott McGilvery. When it comes to real estate, I only recommend top agents. In Toronto, that's Frank Leo and Associates at RE/MAX West. Frank has a multi-million-dollar marketing system that will get your home sold. Guaranteed. Go to getleo.com and start packing.
We are summer. Are you ready? Are you ready?
It's coming soon. North America's largest indoor boat show. Did you know we
Another
have
guy
over
killing
300
his
seminars
wife.
plus
Why you
cottage
guys don't
country
do that here?
from the fishing pros at the tank. The Toronto
Go somewhere
International
else
Boat
and do
Show
that.
presented by the Toronto Star, January 17th to 26th at the Enercare Center.
We are summer. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Video shows gas station shootout between York police officer and man before hours-long
Want to
standoff.
sell your home without drama? Call Frank Leo and Associates at RE/MAX West. I'm Scott McGilvery, and I trust Frank's world-class multi-million-dollar marketing system to create incredible demand to get your home sold. Go to getleo.com today.
This is All News Radio, 680
A
News.
few clouds, minus 7, feeling like minus 16 in downtown Toronto. Good evening. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Christine Ritchie. Here are the top stories this hour.
Here comes some more winter weather. A special weather statement in effect for Toronto, the GTA, and all of southern Ontario, calling up for 15 centimeters of snow here in the city, 20 centimeters north and east of the city in some areas, starting at around 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. 3 people in hospital tonight, one with life-threatening injuries after being struck by a vehicle driven by an elderly woman in the parking lot of a Walmart in North York. And a 30-year-old man with cognitive impairment issues is facing charges after allegedly entering a school in East Gwillimbury and attacking kindergarten students with a curtain rod, leaving one child with serious injuries. 680 News Time, 10:15. It's time for 680 Sports. For that, we go to Sportsnet 590 The Fan and Shirley.
Thanks, Scott. Well, it took a shootout to ultimately decide tonight's Leafs-Flames game, and in the end, Calgary came away with the win.
Here he comes, right-handed shooter, weaves to the left wing side, top of the circle, slows in, shoots into the pad of Riddick. And the Calgary Flames are going to win in a shootout by a score of 2-1.
That was Joe Bowl with the call. Mitch Marner failed to score on Flames goaltender David Riddick there. He was the first star with 36 saves in the win for Calgary. Meanwhile, Leafs get a point in the loss. They're now off until Saturday's game versus the Chicago Blackhawks at Scotiabank Arena. Other finals include the Canadiens over the Flyers 4-1, Bruins over the Penguins 4-1, while in current action, the Sabres lead the Stars 2-1 in the second intermission. And Hurricanes defenseman Dougie Hamilton had to be helped off the ice versus the Blue Jackets. His left leg got caught beneath him as he fell. He went straight to the locker room for Carolina. And over at the CHL NHL Top Prospects game in Hamilton, Team White beat Team Red 5-2. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime with the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 10:17.
One radio station can work wonders for your business, but 2 stations can put you in a different league. Sarah Hugel, second-generation owner of Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
We've been working with CHFI for over a decade, and our account manager suggested that maybe we add 680 News into the mix, and we've seen great results through adding that extra demographic, the importance of having both stations. For us, we feel it is best for business, and it
Where's
gives
all the gas?
So you rely on your CHFI and 680
You're gonna hit the guy, and then you're gonna blow up.
We have a great working relationship. We do absolutely trust their judgment in providing advice for us, as well as future strategies for advertising potentially on digital and other opportunities, and we collaborate really well to come up with the best possible plan for our business.
Sounds like they're part of the Lazy Boy team.
We're really looking forward to getting together again with our 680 News and CHFI account managers to have lunch together and maybe talk a little bit of business as well.
Get 680 News and 98.1 CHFI working for you. Call 416-935-NEWS.
680 News Time 10:18.
Canada and other allies are making a united call for Iran to compensate the families of the victims of the crash of a Ukrainian Airlines plane.
Compensation is key, according to the officials from 5 countries who had victims in this tragedy. Canada hosted a meeting in London, which was attended by representatives from Britain, Sweden, Afghanistan, and Ukraine. Foreign Affairs Minister Francois Philippe Champagne says the group is judging Iran's cooperation day by day, and the regime's admission that it's responsible for shooting down the plane is only a first step.
Beyond that, then, is to say, okay, what are we doing with consular services, the remains, the investigation, and the compensation that will come with that?
On top of the probe into the crash, they're calling for an independent and credible criminal investigation. The RCMP says it will be creating DNA profiles of the victims to assist in identifying the 57 Canadians. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
The provincial Liberals picking up one more member at Queen's Park today. Former Progressive Conservative MPP Amanda Simard has decided to join the Liberal Party.
Only the Ontario Liberal Party can work to unite people across our shared values of social cohesion, strong support for public services, and fiscal responsibility.
She's been sitting as an independent since quitting the PCs in November of 2018. The rookie MPP was not happy with the Ford government's decision to protest cuts to francophone services. Her Eastern Ontario riding of Glengarry Prescott Russell is mostly French-speaking. The U.S. Senate opening the 3rd impeachment trial of a president in American history.
It was a day full of extraordinary scenes in the Senate chamber.
With the permission of the Senate, I will now read the articles of impeachment.
Starting with Congressman Adam Schiff and 6 other House prosecutors presenting the Senate with the articles accusing the president of high crimes and misdemeanors.
Will all senators now stand or remain standing and raise their right hand?
And Chief Justice John Roberts swearing in lawmakers who will serve as jurors, reciting an oath calling on them to do impartial justice. Not long after, the president predicted a speedy trial.
It's a hoax. Everybody knows that. It's a complete hoax.
Complaining to reporters in the Oval Office, it's taking attention away from things like the USMCA trade deal, which the Senate passed today. Opening statements will start Tuesday. Megani at the White House.
Good day, passengers. Timo Brown speaking here. I need you to return your seat to the upright position and definitely fasten your seatbelt. Because Manifest is back on City TV. City TV's #1 new drama from last year is back for another thrilling season and a ton of new questions. Who's really behind the disappearance of Flight 828? And whoa, what happened off screen at the end of last season's finale? So many questions, but the captain has informed me I'm out of time. Manifest, Mondays at 10, 9 Central on City TV.
If I told you there are as many as 2,000 homeless youth in our city each night, would you care?
What if I told you most of them have suffered from abuse and neglect? Then would you care? What if I told you many feel safer on the streets than they do at home? Now do you care? What if I told you I really need your help?
How young do they need to be before you care? Donate $8 a month to Covenant House Toronto and provide homeless kids with a warm bed, hot meal, and a better future. Visit covenanthousetoronto.ca to donate.
List of presidents of the United States by that word.
1021 traffic and
I don't want to know.
Here's Colin Donahue.
This report's brought to you by Audi Queensway. Right now, if you are traveling on the eastbound Gardner, this is probably the worst spot in the city right now, unfortunately. So everyone knows about the long-term construction. We've got from York to the DVP down to 2 lanes, and now from Jarvis to Cherry on the eastbound Gardner, it's only a single lane getting through. This is for some pothole repairs, so we're seeing some really heavy delays. It's backed up all the way to York right now. So if you're leaving the Leafs game, make sure you hop on the Lakeshore instead. Surprisingly, Lakeshore moving perfectly fine. Headed eastbound, there's not really anything going on there. So better alternate route for you there. Other hot spot, northbound on the 400, just north of King Road. We have 2 left lanes closed off for some construction. This is causing some really heavy backup as well. So what you're going to want to do is maybe get off the King Road, travel north, and hop back on at the next entrance there onto the highway. That'll avoid all of those problems for you. Hopping onto the eastbound 401 now, Mississauga Road, 2 right lanes closed. The northbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highway shut down. And then at Keelan, the Express, the left lane's blocked off. And then we see our third big problem in the city, the DVP on the eastbound 401 and the collector lanes. 2 left lanes are shut down due to a collision. Now the delays, they continue to get a little bit worse every time I check. Right now it's just backed up to approaching Don Mills, so just a heads up for that. And if you're coming southbound on the 404 headed onto the eastbound 401, that ramp is jammed up as well. Take winter by storm. Enjoy a 5,000 Audi Quattro credit on a 2019 Q7 and a complimentary maintenance package now at AudiQueensway.ca. Your next report 10:31 with the forecast. Here's Natasha Ramsahide. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of -12 degrees, skies clearing, wind chill -19 in the morning. And tomorrow, mainly sunny. Now, it's below seasonal at -7. At least the wind isn't going to be as strong as it was today. Saturday, snow starting in the morning. It'll continue and even get heavier through the afternoon. It's going to impact travel. We've got blowing snow expected as well. And then even some rain mixing in along the lake and through the west end. 10 to 15 centimeters by the time it starts tapering off Saturday night, although some spots to the north and east GTA could walk away with 20 centimeters. Temperatures 0 rising to 3 degrees by Saturday night. And then Sunday, we're back into some lake effect flurries, gusty northwest winds, and possibly a squall line of snow moving through in the afternoon. That could make for some very brief whiteout conditions. Sunday's temperatures falling from -1 down to -6. Tonight, we're down to a low of -12 degrees. And right now, -7, -16 with the wind chill. A few clouds in downtown Toronto. Up at Pearson Airport, -9 and partly cloudy. 680 News Time, 10:24.
I just switched my variable mortgage to a 2.54 fixed rate at Butler Mortgage.
I thought variable mortgages were always the way to go.
They were for 20 years, but not now. I was at 3.25%, switched to a 5-year fixed 2.54% at Butler Mortgage. Very easy process and saving thousands a year.
If you currently have a variable rate mortgage, Butler Mortgage is 2.54% 5-year fixed. Appraisal and legal fees are covered. License number 12118, 5-year fixed rate, APR 2.56%.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather.
Free and on demand.
680news.com. On air, online, and on any device. This is 680 News.
The city of Toronto might be moving to expropriate lands connected to plans for a massive 20-acre downtown park. In a release from Mayor John Tory's office today, he says the step would bring the city closer to getting work underway to create Rail Deck Park. The idea will be going before a committee next week. The proposal for the park would make for paths and green space above what is currently seen as train tracks between Bathurst and Blue Jays Way, just south of Front Street. The project is priced at roughly $1.7 billion.
680 News Time, 10:25.
Do you consider traffic me time?
I mean, they're gonna build.
Was your last
I think they're trying to get away with this fucking on-ramp.
It was mostly ice.
Do you think Puerto Plata is an appetizer?
I like it with salsa.
This is your Air Transat flight attendant, and I think you could use our vacation intervention promo.
Vacation?
Save up to $1,000 per couple on South packages by going to transat.com or call your Marla travel professional.
Air Transat. Vacation is calling. Over 500,000 Canadians are currently living with Alzheimer's disease. How can you help? You can help by creating a team with friends, family, or coworkers and fundraising together for the 30th IG Wealth Management Walk for Memories in support of the Alzheimer's Society. On Saturday, February 1st, join the largest indoor walk in support of Alzheimer's disease in Toronto. Visit walk.alz.to for more information and to register. That's walk.alz.to. Together, we walk.
News Time, 10:26. Now the business reporters, Richard Southern.
Good evening. Another record-smashing performance for the main stock benchmarks. Traders taking in some more positive news on global trade, and they're pushing these benchmarks to historic highs. The TSX up another 69 points to 17,484. We have the U.S. Senate today. passing the USMCA. This is the renegotiated NAFTA deal. All that stands in the way now is Trump's signature and the House of Commons in Ottawa, both of which are expected to give it the A-OK. The Dow up 267 points to 29,297. S&P up 27 points, above 3,300. The Nasdaq up 98. We did have a big downside mover today, and it was Canada's big play, the train maker, Bombardier. The stock tanked after the company warned of a disappointing fourth quarter sales picture. Anthony Akoli with TD Bank.
Yeah, we saw Bombardier come out and slash the profit outlook for 2019. They also reduced the revenue outlook from about 17 billion previously to just under 16 billion, and that really hurt the stock today.
A lot of the trouble with Bombardier comes back to some issues it's had with big rail contracts. We certainly know the issues it's had with the TTC here in Toronto. Bombardier shares down 31% to $1.22. Meantime, Alphabet, the Google parent company, is in the $1 trillion club now. It hit the $1 trillion market capitalization before the close, and that puts it with Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft as the only four companies that have $1 trillion market caps. Cap stock up sharply after hours after announcing it's no longer planning to separate from the Old Navy brand. Price for gold, $1,552. The Canadian dollar 76.67 cents US. Here, let's see
shit. I can't fucking
Does advertising with 680 News work? Well, things seem to be flowing well for Stan Cleaning from Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service.
Things are going great. We've been so successful with our plumbing and drain part of the business, advertising on 680 News. We thought we'd advertise our new flood, sewer cleanup and restoration business.
And how is that working?
The phone's been ringing. We've seen a tremendous increase in our sales.
Speaking of sales, how do you like working with your account manager at 680 News?
He's helped us out in every avenue of the business. I should almost bring him on as an employee.
And how about all the writers and producers?
It's always difficult to get the message out to the public. The creative teams helped us out in many ways and helped us get to where we are today.
Well, it can't be easy to stay on top in today's competitive market.
Well, there's always competition, but we try to stay one step above them. The new advertising's working great, and we continue to be number one in the number two business. 680 News has really helped us. We are definitely flushed with success.
Unclog your bottom line and clean up the competition with 680 News. Call 680 News Advertising at 416-935-NEWS. That's 416-935-NEWS.
This is your weather station, 680 News.
Checking the business travelers forecast. Halifax, tomorrow, partly cloudy, -14. New York City, clear and -3. This is CFTR 680 News at 10:30.
Number one for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Scott Burnett and Christine Ritchie.
Good evening. This is Thursday, January 16th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
Toronto police asking for the public's help after a 10-year-old boy has been reported missing since this afternoon.
Give it a couple days and it's really going to feel like January.
A good old-fashioned winter system coming this weekend.
Depending on where you are, you could get up to 20 centimeters of snow.
Uber Eats and DoorDash. Toronto police reporting robberies involving food delivery people in the city's East End.
And if you're looking for an apartment, police out with a warning. Beware of prices that are too good to be true.
Leafs lose in the shootout down at Scotiabank Arena. And 5 games on the go right now in the NHL. Sports 45.
Not everyone's working for the weekend. We're looking at why many dread Saturday and Sunday rolling around. Not much to dread about on May. The TSX sits at another record high. Business at 56.
Time 10:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the mornings. Here's Carly Dunnigan. Thanks, Christine. This report is brought to you by the 407 ETR. Right now, a few hot spots in the city you're going to want to avoid. We'll start with the worst, which is on the eastbound Gardner. It is just completely jammed approaching Jarvis to Cherry. We have it down to a single lane, unfortunately. This is for some pothole repairs. Now, these delays, they're actually backed up all the way to just a little bit east of Spadina. So not the best spot you're going to want to travel through. Now, it's very, very jammed. It's pretty much moving at a snail's pace. There's a lot of people leaving the Leafs game. So if you are one of those people, hop on the eastbound Lakeshore. It's moving just fine right now, and you'll avoid these problems. Otherwise, northbound 400, north of King Road, we have 2 left lanes closed off for some maintenance. Now, this is causing some really heavy backup as well, and you might want to get off the highway at King Road, continue north, hop back on the highway at the next entrance, and you'll avoid the whole thing. It's really not that bad of a detour.
License lapse. It's
And taking a look at the
$2,000
eastbound
for travel
401 now.
slots. You're not going to get. They telling me to
Mississauga
stop
Road, 2 right
driving.
lanes are shut down for some
After
construction. We have the northbound Mississauga Road ramp to the
I
highway
gave up the
closed.
license.
And
They
then
sent
at
me
the
a letter. Stop
DVP
driving. You know it's
404
money.
in the
I'm not
collectors,
paying
you'll
you
find
for
2
something I
left lanes
don't
closed off due to a
use it.
collision. Emergency
Maybe
crews
they're going to
on the
collapse.
scene.
Fucking
It's
something's going
backed
to go
up
wrong.
to
I'm not
Don
driving.
Mills right
Fuck
now.
that.
And then if you're coming southbound on the 404, that ramp onto the eastbound 401 is jammed up as well. 407 ETR drivers say they save 20 to 60 minutes per trip. 407 ETR manages traffic for an excellent driving experience. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report, 1041. With the forecast, here is Natasha Ramzahai.
High pressure moving in, and that's going to lighten up the winds overnight tonight and also clear out the sky. So it's mainly sunny tomorrow. Morning temperature minus 12 degrees. The afternoon minus 7, feeling like minus 11 at the warmest point of the day. Through the night tonight, we're down to a low of minus 12. Wind chill minus 19 in the morning.
And right now in downtown Toronto, partly cloudy sky, minus 8, feeling like minus 16 with that wind chill. 680 News Time, 10:33.
Breaking news from Scarborough, where Toronto police have put out a call for help to find a missing 10-year-old boy. Terrell Hanchard was last seen at around 4 o'clock this afternoon near Morningside Avenue and Seals Road in Melbourne. Constable Alex Lee tells 680 News the cold outside has them concerned.
We're concerned for his safety, obviously, because of the winter weather and conditions, and obviously because of his age.
He's described as black, 4'5", with a slim build and short black hair. Last seen wearing a gray winter jacket with a fur hood, a green and black camouflage top and pants, and green shoes. You can see his photo on the Toronto Police Twitter account.
680 News Time at 10:34. Well, depending on how much you like snow, it might be a weekend to get outdoors and enjoy winter, or maybe seek refuge on the sofa with some binge-worthy shows. 680 Stuart McGinn has more on a special weather statement that is out for Toronto and for Southern Ontario.
Aside from the cold front that's making its way in now, we're in the clear until about mid-morning Saturday.
It will be that light, fluffy snow, but that's the type that's easiest to blow around. And with winds gusting upwards of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, visibility is going to be an issue.
Our meteorologist Natasha Ramzahai says as the system moves through a large portion of southern Ontario Saturday into Sunday, like any storm, it'll be different depending on where you are.
Further north and east you are outside of the city of Toronto, those are going to be the areas where we will likely see the highest amounts of snowfall, 15 to 20 centimeters possible.
The most intense snowfall will take place Saturday afternoon, with those in the city in for an estimated 10 to 15 centimeters, but some of that accumulation could be washed away with warmer temperatures Saturday night into Sunday morning. That'll bring some rainfall to areas closer to the lake. I'm Stuart McGinn.
You're with All News Radio 680 News at 10:35. Toronto police are warning you about a string of food robberies targeting delivery people in the city's East End. Police say since last Friday, they have received numerous reports about robberies taking place in the Morningside Avenue and Seals Road area. According to investigators, food would be ordered for delivery to addresses in that neighborhood. While a group of people waited for the food delivery person, that group would then steal the food from that person and in some cases would make threats while armed with a weapon. No money has been stolen as of yet. Anyone with information is asked to give police a call.
A dangerous afternoon in a Walmart parking lot in North York after 3 pedestrians were hit by a vehicle driven by an elderly woman. One person now in life-threatening condition. 680's Phil Martino has more.
Toronto Police Sergeant Jason Croft says for unknown reasons, a vehicle hit 3 pedestrians outside the Walmart doors just before 1 p.m.
Officers located a vehicle and a driver, a female driver in her 70s, as well as 3 pedestrians. We have a female in her 30s that was transported to hospital by ambulance with life-threatening injuries.
A woman in her 30s pushing a stroller was also struck. She and her child were assessed at the scene. They are okay. So far, no charges have been laid. Police say they are looking for any witnesses or anyone who may have a dash cam footage of what happened. I'm Phil Martino.
Here with All News Radio 680 News, they've been waiting 6 years for answers on how their son died while in a psychiatric ward under suicide watch at Brampton Civic Hospital. Now they're going to have to wait even longer. Christina Howard has more on the Tiwari family, whose lawsuit against the hospital for their son's wrongful death has been delayed to May of 2021. The issue, no courtrooms.
Justice Diddley.
I don't believe that. You guys have more courtrooms. I was in one today. Why am I there? But these guys,
that for 7 years.
This is what I'm going to do with the alien Prashant. They cannot bring Prashant back.
Rakesh Tiwari has been waiting to learn what went wrong and who ultimately is responsible.
Medical system has failed.
Motherfucker that fell asleep on the job.
Legal system has failed too.
Michael Smichuk has filed several wrongful death lawsuits and represents the Tiwari family in theirs. He says delays like this are becoming routine.
It takes, on average, in our experience, to get to court about 6 years, which is completely unacceptable.
Rakesh says he has little faith his court case will proceed as promised in May 2021. And until it does, his son's ashes will not be laid to rest. Christina Howard, City News. With looming teacher strikes in the cards for early next week, parents are scrambling to find childcare. 680's Maman Qureshi joins us with more on options for parents.
As far as Toronto goes, Mayor Tory says the logistics will prevent the city from offering up any sort of day or drop-in programs. But up in York Region, which will be affected by both strikes on Monday and Tuesday, municipalities including Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham are offering programs. Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti tells me if you want your child to take part,
Book early. It's first come, first served.
To find out what's being offered in your area, you can check your town or city's official website. Scarpitti says he's hoping other community groups will also step in.
Certainly the city of Markham is helping out, and I'm hoping many of the religious and community organizations that have facilities in our community will also step forward as a way to ease some of the stress.
At City Hall, I'm Open Qureshi.
As the investigation continues into the passenger plane crash in Iran, Canada and other allies are demanding the Iranian regime compensate the families of the victims.
Iran has a choice, and the world is watching.
Our Foreign Affairs Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne chaired the meeting, which brought together countries that had citizens killed in this tragedy, including Britain, Sweden, Afghanistan, and Ukraine. Minister Champagne says there have to be consequences for this horrible loss of life. The group is calling for Iran to compensate the victims and help ensure a credible investigation into the crash.
Allow us to go to the bottom of things. Make sure that we can get the truth. Make sure that we get all the facts.
They're also calling for an independent criminal investigation. Canadian consular officials and investigators are on the ground in Iran. But since probes into the crash could take years to complete, the Trudeau government is exploring the option of compensating families in the interim. Cormac McSwinney, Parliament Hill. In 30 seconds, we'll take a look at gas prices. 680 News Time, 10:39.
Catch all the excitement of your favorite slots and table games at Casino Woodbine. Sign up for a free One Rewards membership today, and you could be eligible to get your first $250 on us. Need a lift? We've added new Toronto shuttle bus routes that will take you right to our front doors. Must be 19 plus. Rewards membership required.
There it goes. Blah, blah, blah.
Casino
Why could I not watch it?
Toronto's home for gaming and entertainment.
Now, the 680 News gas price update, and Pro predicts the price will drop 1 cent at midnight to $1.14.9 a liter at most GTA stations.
680 News Time, 10:40.
Hi, it's Ivanka Osmak. Normally, I'm a sports anchor for Sportsnet, but today I'm spreading the news about Sleep Country's Aquagel pillow. To be honest, I'd never even heard of a gel pillow before their sleep experts suggested I try it out, and I'm glad they did. The pillow is so comfortable. It's made with a water-based gel, so it's a super breathable alternative to memory foam that cradles your neck and keeps you cool. I've always been a little picky about my pillow, but that was totally embraced when I went to Sleep Country. Their sleep experts are sleep obsessed. It was amazing to see all the options they could recommend based on just a few things I told them about my sleeping habits. So really, no matter how you sleep, I'm sure they'll be able to recommend a great pillow to you. Plus, right now, when you buy one Aquagel pillow, you get a second Aquagel pillow free. Get matched to your perfect pillow at Sleep Country or order online at sleepcountry.ca today. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
News Time, 10:41.
With her eye on the roads, here's Carly Donahue. Thanks, Christine. This report is brought to you by Enercare. Right now, we have a few problem spots on the major routes if you're traveling on the eastbound Gardner. Now, that's the biggest one. So everyone knows there's a long-term construction between York and the DDP, but now between Jarvis and Cherry, they've actually taken out an additional lane for some pothole repairs. So from approaching York or more or less just east of Spadina at this point, there are some very slow-moving delays. You're not going to want to get on this
if you are leaving the Leafs game right now, make sure you take the eastbound Lakeshore out of the city, not the eastbound Gardner. Otherwise, on the eastbound 401 at Mississauga Road, 2 right lanes closed off for some construction. The northbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highways closed off. And then the other problem spot we're seeing on the eastbound 401 at the DVP, we have 2 left lanes closed off in the collectors. This is due to a collision. Emergency crews are on the scene, but we are seeing delays. It's pretty much just from approaching the 404 right now. More or less, the bigger part of this delay is if you're coming southbound on the 404 trying to get onto the eastbound 401. That ramp is jammed up right now. And then traveling northbound on the 400, just north of King Road, 2 left lanes are closed off for some construction. We're seeing really heavy backup. You might want to get off at King Road, go north on another alternative route, and then jump back onto 400 elsewhere, because there's no delays anywhere else. If you take the westbound 401 at Young and the Express, the right lane closed, with the queue ramps also blocked off coming onto the highway. Call the HVAC Whisperers at Enercare today and save $40 off heating repair calls. No one understands your heating system better because we at Enercare. Terms and conditions apply. Your next report 10:51 with the forecast. Natasha Ramsey. High.
Tonight we're dropping to -12, wind chill -19 in the morning. Winds will be getting lighter, so it is going to be just a light breeze. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, but cold at -7, wind chill -11. Saturday, getting up to 0 degrees in the afternoon, rising to 3 degrees by the evening. So with incoming precipitation, it's going to change from a fluffy snow, which starts in the morning, heavy snow through the afternoon, wet snow in the evening, and possibly even mixing some rain in by Saturday overnight. It's also going to be windy, especially late in the day Saturday, up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. Through the night tonight, temperatures dropping to -12, wind chill -19 by the morning.
Downtown Toronto, a mostly cloudy sky, -8, feeling like -16 at Pearson. Similar conditions. 680 News Time, 10:43.
A Toronto man is facing charges in connection with an apartment rental scam. Police say it involved a rental for a unit near Dundas and Ontario Streets. The listing was priced much lower than market value to entice potential victims. Police are warning apartment hunters to be cautious when the list price of a unit is significantly lower than similar units in the area. A 21-year-old Toronto man is charged with fraud under $5,000 and possession of proceeds of crime under $5,000. Coming up in health and lifestyle news at 10:48, fans of the television show And with an E take matters into their own hands when their favorite show doesn't get renewed.
680 News Time, 10:44.
Listen up. Lazy Boy is completely overstocked and they need to move furniture fast. It's music to my ears. I hear there's crazy amounts of everything in the store. They're so desperate to move inventory and make room for all their new items that everything's priced to go. Hurry. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Live life comfortably. Lazy Boy.
Don't pay until 2021 during the inventory overstock sell-off at 9 GTA stores plus Kitchener.
Happy Chinese New Year! Mandarin is back with our dumpling festival for a limited time to celebrate Chinese New Year in style. Enjoy favorite dumplings like beef pot stickers, siu mai, har gao, and tasty banana dumplings for dessert. Plus, choose from other Chinese New Year features added to our award-winning buffet of over 100 dishes. Don't miss it. Chinese New Year at Mandarin ends February 23rd, while supplies last.
A celebration of taste. Mandarin.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It's -7, feeling like -16 with the wind chill. We have a few clouds. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Christine Ritchie.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here are the top stories this hour.
Toronto police asking for the public's help after a 10-year-old boy went missing in Scarborough this afternoon. He was last seen in the Morningside and Sewell's Road area around 4 o'clock. He's described as black, 4'5", with a slim build and short black hair. Police are concerned about the cold weather. He was last seen wearing a gray winter jacket with a fur hood and green shoes. You can see a photo of Terrell Henchard on the Toronto Police Twitter account. And time to get the sled ready, or maybe put some French batteries in the old television remote. A winter storm expected to hit Toronto early Saturday with between 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. Areas north and east of the city could get up to 20 centimeters. And Toronto police reporting a growing number of food delivery robberies in the city's East End, taking place in the Morningside Avenue and Sewell's Road area. Police say a group of people would order food, wait for the delivery person, and then rob them of the food, sometimes using a weapon. No money so far has been stolen. 680 News Time, 10:46. Now, 680 Sports. from Sportsnet 5, WFM. Here's the show.
Thanks, Christine. Well, the Leafs losing the shootout to the Flames by a final of 2-1, and despite the loss, head coach Sheldon Keefe is proud of the way his team battled back late.
Like the way we found a way to tie the game. It's a big point for us down in the third period. Big power play goal. We really needed it. Could have used one in the second there or early in the game, but obviously we'll take that.
Leafs are now off until Saturday's game versus the Chicago Blackhawks at Scotiabank Arena. That game will be on the Fan as well. Other finals around the NHL include the Canadiens over the Flyers 4-1, Bruins over the Penguins 4-1. While in current action, the Sabres lead the Stars 2-1 in the third period. Hurricanes defenseman Dougie Hamilton had to be helped off the ice versus the Blue Jackets earlier tonight. His left leg got caught beneath him as he fell. He went straight to the locker room. And over at the CHL NHL Top Prospects game in Hamilton, Team White beat Team Red 5-2. Sports at 15 and 45, pass every hour or anytime with the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 1047.
Looking to sell your home? I'm Scott McGilvery. I've worked in Toronto for years, and I know that your home needs the best marketing to create the most demand. Contact Frank Leo and Associates at Remax West and start packing. Go to getleo.com today.
Hi, I'm Adam, founder of newborrow.com, and I started our company after I got fed up with the mortgage loan process. Turns out I wasn't alone. Thousands of homeowners wanted help.
They went above and beyond to help me get a line of credit. It was amazing service.
They treated me like a valued client and outperformed anyone I spoke to. Want to lower your mortgage payments and save a little money?
Use your home to get a loan with Newborrow. Visit newborrow.com. License 13115.
Hey Toronto, Scott McGilvery here. Need to sell your home on time? Frank Leo and Associates of Remax West spends millions of dollars in marketing to sell on your deadline at a price you agree to, or he will buy it. Go to getleo.com and start packing.
680 News Time, 1048 at Mirvish Village is coming along nicely, especially after Ottawa pumped $200 million into the site at Bathurst and Bloor. It will soon house hundreds of rental units, including affordable housing. 680's Mark Douglas is there.
Honest Ed's is still missed as an icon of the city.
Honest Ed's at least gave it a little bit of culture and pizzazz, I guess.
But it might be worth losing the old store now that the apartment complex going up in its place will be about 1/3 affordable housing. This comes with Ottawa promising $200 million for the project. The minister in charge of CMHC, Ahmed Hussein, says some of those affordable units will be deeply affordable.
So 100 will be at 80% of market value. Well, the average market rent in Toronto.
Yes, that's still very expensive.
Correct, but you're looking at this project in isolation.
80% of Toronto rental market value is still about $800 per month in rent for the smallest unit. From Bathurst and Bloor, I'm Mark Douglas.
Die Hard and with an E fans don't want their drama to end. So, and with an E wasn't renewed last year. The show's creator posting on Instagram that there was no way to revive it. Meantime, earlier this week, a group of fans spent $1,000 on 5 digital Save and with an E billboards in downtown Toronto. And they're hoping to get similar digital displays in New York's Times Square. Such a dedicated audience. It was such a good show. So good luck to them. Coming up, traffic and weather together on the ones and Toronto's outside workers threatening job action. 680 News Time, 1050. When 680 News listeners are on the road, they like to save time and stay safe. And that's why 407 ETR chooses 680 News to connect with drivers.
Hi, my name is Kevin Sack, and I am the Vice President of Communications and Marketing at 407 ETR, the toll road that gets people where they need to be on time.
Why advertise on 680 News specifically?
The programming of the station that occurs every hour of the day is what drives people to listen to the station, and also hear news about breaking traffic and weather. And we know that's an important place for drivers to go. We know that if we put our message there, it's going to be heard.
407 ETR has been on 680 News for many years. You obviously have a long-term marketing strategy.
And the new drivers join the GTA every year. And as new audiences come on board, they're going to 680 News for their information, and we want to be a part of that. It often reminds me of the way the highway functions. Fast, safe, and reliable.
Get 680 News working for you. Call 416-935-NEWS. And we head over to the traffic center with Carly Donahue. This report is brought to you by the 407 ETR. Right now, bunch of construction coming in across the GTA, but we're still seeing this problem on the eastbound Gardner. Now, there's the long-term construction between York and the GVP. It's down to 2 lanes, and now it's actually down to 1 lane between approaching Jarvis to Cherry due to some pothole repairs. So that's it's set to wrap up around midnight, but we'll have to keep an eye on that one. However, some good news, the delays are getting a little bit better. They're still really jammed up, but I'm seeing some improvement, so that's something you can hold on to there. Otherwise, on the northbound 400 north of King Road, 2 left lanes are closed off for some construction. That's causing some backup, so you might want to get off at King Road, go northbound on a different route, and then you can jump back onto the highway anywhere after that, and you'll be in the clear. On the westbound 401 at Yonge Express, we have a right lane closed. The Keel and the Collectors, 2 right lanes closed. The Keel ramps to the highway are shut down. We have the ramps to Mavis blocked off for some construction, and then jumping onto the eastbound 401 at Mississauga Road, 2 right lanes are blocked off. The northbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highway shut down as well. At the 400 in the Express, we have 2 right lanes closed. Now, this is for some removing maintenance, so it might not be there for too long, but it's causing a little bit of delays, actually. But that's just in the Express. Collectors moving fine. At Keel in the Express on the East 401, 2 left lanes closed. And then the DVP in the Collectors, 2 left lanes closed off due to a collision. Emergency crews are still on the scene. 407 ETR saves drivers 30 million hours of time each year, giving you more time for the things that matter the most. Visit 407etr.com for details. Your next report 11:01 with the forecast. Natasha Ramsahai.
A calm Friday, a messy weekend ahead. We are going to be mainly sunny tomorrow. We're starting off at -12 in the morning, getting up to -7 during the afternoon, so it's below seasonal. And warmer on Saturday, 0 degrees, rising to 3 by Saturday evening, although we do have this snow, which is going to be starting early Saturday. It is going to slow down travel all day long, heaviest of the snow through the afternoon, and it's going to start mixing in some rain, especially along the lakeshore, west end, into some rainfall, Hamilton, Burlington, and so that's going to lower some of the snowfall amounts there. This is a good 10 to 15 centimeters. Could even see a couple of pockets of 20, though, to the north and east, and gusty winds. Sunday, there will be some lake effect flurries, blowing snow at times, and could even be heavy with whiteout conditions at times through the afternoon. Sunday's temperatures -1 in the morning, falling to -6. Tonight, we're dropping to a low of -12 degrees.
And right now in downtown Toronto, -8, -16 with the wind chill. We have a few clouds up at Pearson Airport to -9 and partly cloudy.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Cold Drops.
1 drop for temporary relief of sore throat and nasal congestion.
Cold Drops.
Cold Drops are available at Metro pharmacies near you. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
Coming up at 11 o'clock, the latest on Toronto police asking for your help finding a missing 10-year-old boy. He was last seen at around 4 o'clock in the Morningside and Sewell's Road area. That's near the Toronto Zoo. He's described as black, 4 feet 5 inches, and was wearing a gray winter jacket with a fur hood, camouflage pants, and green shoes. And you can see his photo at 680news.com.
During winter, some hibernate, but Nissan Winter Warriors revel in fresh snow, thrive on steep slopes, and taking in everything winter has to offer.
I'm a sucker for you.
If you love winter like we do, get down to the Winter Warriors sales event at Nissan and finance a Rogue Special Edition from 0% for up to 84 months. Hurry, offer ends January 31st. Visit choosenissan.ca or your Nissan dealer. Conditions apply.
I'm a sucker for you.
At 680 News, we know weather.
And we guarantee it.
If we're off by more than 3 degrees, we'll announce a lucky winner of our growing cash jackpot.
Now, get more chances to win each month and vacation better with Sunwing.
Enter in January for your chance to win an all-inclusive vacation for 2 at the Rio Palace, Cabo San Lucas in Mexico.
Enjoy beautiful coastal views, multiple swim-up bars, and access to themed parties at the neighboring Rio Resort.
The 680 News weather guarantee with Sunwing
and Rio Hotels and Resorts
at 680news.com.
Casino Rema Resort wants you to head outdoors for some winter fun. Receive ballots now until January 31st for the grand prize draws on February 8th, where you can win $10,000 cash,
every little
a
movement,
2019
fucking wake
MXZ
up.
Sport 600 Ski-Doo with a trailer, or a 2020 Ford Explorer. Must be present to win at 19 years or older. No purchase necessary. Promotion is open for members and non-members. Play smart. For full details and conditions for entry, visit CasinoRama.com.
The winter sales event is on at Mercedes-Benz Durham with exclusive offers on 2020 models. Lease a 2020 GLC 300 4MATIC SUV equipped with premium and sport package from $696 per month with zero down. Or find special savings on all demo models. And existing Mercedes-Benz customers receive an additional 1% lease or finance rate reduction. Mercedes-Benz Durham, 2019 Star Dealer, 20 minutes east of the DVP.
Well, it's cheaper than rent, I guess, if you could live in the fucking thing.
Now the 680 News Business Report.
Get all your documents online and
Happy
shit.
Friday Eve. A lot of people, of course, get excited about the weekend.
Automatic bill
They work
payments and
hard for
shit.
it.
You just
There was
find a
even a
407
tune-up.
transponder and everything.
But would you believe not everybody is working for the weekend? A new study finds for a growing number of people, they dread the weekend rolling around. It has to do with loneliness. Many of us are busy working during the week, but then Saturday and Sunday comes and it's kind of an emotional and social wilderness. The Guardian newspaper out of London asked readers to share their experience of weekend loneliness. And boy, they had a deluge of responses, people talking about the pain and isolation that the weekend brings. Many talk about feeling content and fulfilled at work, but then on the weekend, no one to talk to, no colleagues to converse with. Psychologists say this is not news to them at all. They say people often have two personas, the weekday one, which is confident and busy, and the weekend one, which is lost and vulnerable. Here's something to cheer you up. Stocks hit record highs again. The main benchmarks did. The TSX picking up 69 points to 17,484. What were traders buying? Ballard Power, up 4%. We had Celestica out of the tech space picking up 4% as well to $11.64. Some of the cannabis names continued their recent comeback. Aurora was up 3 3/4 to $2.79 per share. Big downside move though. Bombardier warning about fourth quarter sales. The stock tumbled 31% to $1.22. The Dow up 267 points, 29,297. The U.S. Senate giving the A-OK to the renegotiated NAFTA deal. S&P up 27 points, above 3,300, and the Nasdaq up 98. Price for gold, $1,552, and the loonie at 76.68 cents U.S. Top stories are next on 680 News. Alpine Credits.
My partner and I want to reduce our stress, so we're doing lots of yoga, and we'd like to consolidate our debt.
Do you own your home?
Yes.
Approved.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved so you can reduce your monthly bills and put your chakras in balance. Home. Alpine Credits. Some conditions apply. FSRA license 12616.
I joined because I wanted to help others.
To be a part of something bigger.
To show my kids what's important.
I joined to make my community stronger.
To make a difference in someone's life.
To acknowledge that our freedoms come at a cost.
I joined to honor my mom.
My grandpa.
My neighbor.
Everyone who served.
Who are serving still.
Honoring veterans is our duty. Join today at legion.ca/join.
I gotta join? Can I just go in and buy a
680 News regional weather conditions for Walmart. Walmart knows wellness. January 18th from 10 to 2, receive a free blood sugar and blood pressure screening from your local pharmacist. Walmart, helping Canadians live better. This advertisement presented by Pharmascience.
In Brampton, -9 with a few clouds. Oakville, -6, partly cloudy. And Oshawa, -11 with the few clouds. 680 News Time, 11 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Scott Burnett and Christine Ritchie.
Good evening. This is Thursday, January 16th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
Walker police asking for your help finding a missing 10-year-old boy last seen near Morningside and Sewell's Road near the Toronto Zoo.
Snow and lots of it making its way here this weekend, but how much will you get? As always, that depends on where you are in the GTA.
A woman is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a vehicle in a Walmart parking lot in the Keele and Lawrence area. 2 others were struck in the same incident.
Thanks to a huge investment from Ottawa, $200 million, there will now be 4 times as many affordable housing units going up where Honest Ed's used to stand.
The Leafs drop a close one to the Flames at Scotiabank Arena, and a busy night in the NHL starts to wrap up. Sports at 15.
Feel guilty about leaving the dog at home? Not to worry. Spotify coming out with new playlists for your pets to keep them company. TSX, Dow, hit records again. Business at 26.
Time 11:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on One's taking a drive this evening. Carlene Donahue.
Thank you, Scott. This report brought to you by the Queen Smith MBA in Toronto right now. Good news if you're on the eastbound 401. That collision at the Don Valley Parkway has cleared up out of the collector lane, so the delays should clear along with that. In just a few moments, we're just seeing some residual delays on the southbound 404 ramp to the eastbound 401. So just a few minutes and that should be gone. Otherwise, backtracking on the eastbound 401 and Mississauga Road, 2 right lanes closed. The northbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highway shut down. At the 400 in the express, 2 right lanes are blocked off. Now, this is for some moving maintenance, so it might start to travel elsewhere, but right now it's at the 400, and we are seeing just a little bit of actually the delays have cleared up, so that shouldn't be causing a problem. And then at Keele in the express, 2 left lanes closed off as well. Westbound 401 at Keele in the collectors, 2 right lanes closed. The Keele ramps to the highway are shut down for maintenance. We've got the ramps to Mavis closed off as well. If you're on the northbound 400 this evening, that's a spot we're still seeing some issues. Just north of King Road, we're seeing that there are 2 left lanes closed off for some construction. Now, this is causing delays backed up all the way to King Road. So you're going to want to get off at King Road, go north up on Jane Street, and then you can re-merge back onto the 400 at any point. There's no delays anywhere other than there. And then another problem on the major routes in the city, the eastbound Gardner. It is just jammed right now, approaching Jarvis to Cherry. They've taken out one of the only 2 lanes there for pothole repairs. So we're seeing delays right now backed up to Spadina, believe it or not. That's going to wrap up around midnight apparently, but we'll keep an eye on it in case it stays longer. Right now, you're going to want to take the Lakeshore instead of the Gardner. Earn your MBA from Queen Smith School of Business right here in Toronto. Find out more at smithmbaintoronto.com. Your next report, 11:11, with the forecast, Natasha Ramsahai. Skies clearing tonight, winds getting lighter. It's cold though tonight and tomorrow, slightly below seasonal as we start off at -12, wind chill -19 in the morning. Tomorrow's high just -7 degrees. Tonight we're down to a low of -12 degrees.
And right now we're sitting at -8. Feeling like -16 with the wind chill. We have a few clouds at the Pearson Airport, -9 and partly cloudy there. 680 News Time, 11:03.
Notice I'm not out there.
Breaking news from Scarborough this hour. Toronto police say they are concerned for the safety of a child who's been missing for 7 hours now. 10-year-old Terrell Hanchard was last seen in the Malvern and Morningside and Sewells area.
Motherfuckers.
Constable Alex Lee tells 680 News the boy may have gotten on a bus.
We have been told by investigators that he does know how to use public transit, so we've enlisted the help of our friends at the DC and Go Transit.
Well,
He was last seen wearing a gray winter jacket with a fur hood, a green and black camouflage top and pants, and green shoes. You can see his photo at our 680 Twitter site.
Well, we felt it with the dip in temperatures, but it's going to start looking more like winter in Toronto this weekend. A special weather statement calling for plenty of snow is in effect for the city as well as most of southern Ontario. 680 Stuart McGinn is on the Weather Watch and joins us with what you can expect.
Between 8 and 10 o'clock Saturday morning is when it starts, with this winter storm expected to move out by Sunday. So meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai, how much are we talking?
Snowfall amounts will be in the 10 to 15 centimeter range, but of course, it's the intensity of the snow that makes all the difference.
That intensity set to reach its peak Saturday afternoon. And for anyone north and east of Toronto, areas like Caledon, Markham, Uxbridge, or Durham, snowfall totals could reach 20 centimeters. Relief, though, will come in the form of rain showers, washing away some accumulation as temperatures rise overnight Saturday.
Best chance for that right along the lakeshore.
But this time of the year, isn't perspective always important? We don't have it all that bad. Newfoundland right now, they're getting pounded with 70 centimeters of snow and hurricane force winds up to 140 kilometers an hour. I'm Stuart McGinn.
70 centimeters of snow.
680 News Time, 11:05. A woman in her 30s remains in hospital in life-threatening condition tonight after she was struck by a vehicle driven by an elderly woman in the parking lot of a Walmart in North York. 680's Phil Martino has the latest from the scene.
It was supposed to be a regular shopping day for 2 Walmart customers, but it turned into something else. Toronto Police Sergeant Jason Cross says just before 1 p.m., a vehicle hit a woman in her 30s and a mother pushing her baby in a stroller. The woman in her 30s suffered life-threatening injuries.
We have another female in her 30s with a 17-month-old child. Both that female and the child were checked out by ambulance services at sea and not transported to hospital.
Police say the driver is a woman in her 70s. She was not injured in the incident. This Walmart customer says it's scary.
And I come to this Walmart all the time, and it makes you realize that you really have to take a second look.
Police say at this point they don't know what caused the collision. I'm Phil Martino.
680 News Time, 11:06. As parents try to make alternate arrangements for childcare ahead of next week's planned teacher strikes, some have been wondering if the city may be able to help. 680's Moma Qureshi at City Hall. He joins us with what you need to know.
If you're a parent in Toronto scrambling to find somewhere to send your children during the one-day strikes next week, unfortunately, Mayor Tory says the city won't be able to provide any day camps or drop-ins.
I can't create an expectation at this stage that we will be offering programs to substitute for the kids being in the school.
But if you live in York Region, you may have some better luck with places including Richmond Hill, Vaughan, and Markham offering programs. Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti does have one piece of advice.
Book early. It's first come, first served. We just don't have the capacity to be able to deal with all of the kids and families that will be impacted.
You can find details on what's being offered on your local city or town's website. At City Hall, I'm Moma Qureshi.
Progress is being made at the former site of Honest Ed's. The lot at Bathurst and Bloor will soon be home to hundreds of desperately needed rental units, including affordable housing. 680's Mark Douglas joins us from Mirvish Village with more.
Out here in the annex, people still miss Honest Ed's.
But it was very iconic and, it marked the city.
But at least the apartment complex going up where the old store used to be is now going to have about 4 times the number of affordable housing units as originally planned, thanks to a huge investment from Ottawa.
$200 million.
And that's Ahmed Hussein, the minister in charge of Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. The agency is securing 366 affordable housing units out of the more than 900 rental units coming to Mirvish Village.
Rents that are less than 30% of the median household income.
And those include about 100 rental units fixed at 80% of Toronto rental market value. From Bathurst and Bloor, I'm Mark Douglas.
Here with All News Radio, 680 News at 11:08. A former Canadian military reservist who was accused of being a neo-Nazi before disappearing last summer has been arrested in the United States. The FBI says Patrick Matthews was one of 3 men taken into custody this morning. Matthews first made headlines last summer when he was accused of being a major recruiter for a neo-Nazi group. His truck was later found abandoned in southern Manitoba near the U.S. border. Matthews and 1 other person were arrested in Delaware, while the 3rd person was arrested in Maryland.
Toronto police have arrested a 24-year-old man in connection with their Prowl by Night investigation. Police say between January 2nd and January 5th, officers responded to 3 separate calls for a night prowler in the Bloor Street West and Prince Edward Drive area. They executed a search warrant at a home in the Park Lawn Road and Barry Road area this weekend, and that led to a suspect. Ryan Perry of Toronto is charged with 3 counts of Prowl by Night and 3 counts of mischief.
680 News Time, 11:09.
This is
680 News.
That's some creepy shit. What the fuck was he
Some
doing?
live to ski, others ski to live. Introducing Bluemont, a Blue Mountain chalet living on 60-foot executive lots. Steps from the mountain. A lifetime of memories awaits you and your family. Chalets from $890,000. For more information or directions to our sales office, visit Fremont.com.
Bumper jack or something. Bumper.
Now, the 680 News gas price update and Pro predicting the price of gas is going to drop a cent at midnight if you can hold on for about 15 minutes to $1.14, rather $1.14 from $1.15. 0.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations.
680 News Time, 11:10.
New York, New York. The city is so nice they named it twice. But they should have named it 5 times for all its 5 boroughs. Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, the Bronx, and Brooklyn. Explore all 5. So much to see with so many non-stop flights a day on Porter Airlines. Just name your time and book at flyporter.com/NY. Porter, flying refined.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can have dire consequences. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or even a hearse. These unplanned choices for transportation are costly and do not take you home. I'm Chuck Cox with the Highway Safety Division of the Ontario Provincial Police, asking you to choose your ride and always have a plan for a safe ride home.
Visit arrivallive.org to find out more. And thanks for driving sober.
It's time 11:11.
Time for traffic and weather together on the one second your drive. Carly Donahue.
This report is brought to you by Alternate Savings. Right now on the major routes, we have a few things going on. If you're on the eastbound Gardner, that's unfortunate for you right now because from York to the DVP, of course, everyone knows it's down to 2 lanes. And then additionally, approaching Jarvis to Cherry, it's down to a single lane now for pothole repairs. They have taken out one of the only 2 lanes there. So we're seeing delays pretty much backed up on the East Gardner from just east of Spadina. So you're going to want to take the eastbound Lakeshore instead. That's moving much better. Otherwise, on the southbound 404 at Major Mackenzie, 2 left lanes closed. On the northbound 400, we've got some delays just north of King Road there. There's 2 left lanes closed off for some construction. So that's quite backed up. You might want to get off the highway at King Road just to save yourself all that aggravation. On the westbound 401 at Yonge and the Express, right lanes closed to Keele and the Collectors. 2 right lanes blocked off. The Keele ramps to the highway are shut down for maintenance, and the ramps to Mavis are blocked off as well. Eastbound on the 401 at Mississauga Road, 2 right lanes closed. Northbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highway shut down. At the 400 in the Express, 2 right lanes closed off for some moving maintenance, and then at Keele in the Express, 2 left lanes are blocked off as well. Saving for retirement doesn't have to be scary. Talk to an advisor at Alternate Savings about the best plan for you. Visit alternatesavings.ca to book an appointment. Alternate Savings, discover the good in banking. Your forecast now with Natasha Ramsahai.
Overnight tonight, skies clearing. We are going to lighten up those winds, but it's chilly. We're down to minus 12 degrees. A wind chill of minus 19 is what you need to dress for in the morning. And tomorrow, mainly sunny with a high of just minus 7. Wind chill minus 11, although the winds are much lighter than today. Then Saturday, we're talking about the special weather statement in effect for snow starting in the morning. Heaviest during the afternoon, changing from fluffy snow over to heavy wet snow late in the day, and even mixing in some rain possible come Saturday night. Temperatures 0 degrees in the afternoon, rising to 3 degrees by evening. Tonight we're down to a low of minus 12.
And right now we're sitting at minus 8 to minus 16 with the wind chill. A few clouds up at Pearson Airport, minus 9 and partly cloudy. 680 News Time 11:13.
Well, Better Call Saul has been renewed for a 6th and final season consisting of 13 episodes that will air in 2021. Upcoming 5th season debuts next month on AMC. The Breaking Bad prequel airing 10 episodes this year. Executive producer Peter Gould told the TV Critics meeting on a Thursday that it's the run everyone on the show had wanted. By the time it's over, Better Call Saul will have made 1 episode more than Breaking Bad's total of 62.
680 News Time to 11:14.
We are summer. Are you ready? Are you ready?
It's coming soon. North America's largest indoor boat show. Are you interested in getting out on the water? Visit the new Boater Welcome Center and discover boating. The Toronto International Boat Show, presented by the Toronto Star, January 17th to 26th at the Enercare Center.
We are summer. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
The Toronto Boat Show.
Visit TorontoBoatShow.com.
It's nice to have a guarantee that your money will grow because your kids are guaranteed to grow.
Mom, my shoes are too small.
Thankfully, HSBC Bank offers a GIC with 2.18% interest, so you'll be ready for anything.
Mom, my shoes are too small.
Take a step towards financial wellness today. Get 2.18% per annum on a 218-day non-redeemable GIC for new deposits. For full details, visit hsbc.ca/grow. HSBC Bank. Together we thrive.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It's partly cloudy sky, -8, feeling like -16 this hour. Good evening from the 680 News broadcast center. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Christine Ritchie here on the top stories this hour.
As that temperature continues to drop, police are increasingly concerned for a missing 10-year-old boy in Scarborough tonight. Terrell Hanchard last seen around 4 o'clock this afternoon in the Morningside and Sewells Road area near the Toronto Zoo. He's described as black, 4'5", with a slim build and short black hair, last seen wearing a gray winter jacket with a fur hood, camouflage top and pants, and green shoes. You can see Terrell's picture on the 680 News Twitter account. A special weather statement in effect for Toronto and all of the GTA, calling for up to 15 centimeters of snow in the city, up to 20 centimeters in regions north and east of Toronto. It all starts Saturday morning around 9 o'clock. 680 News Time, 11:15. Time for 680 Sports. For that, we go to Sportsnet 5 The Fan and Show Lee.
Thanks, Scott. Well, the Leafs lost in the shootout to the Flames by a final of 2-1, and afterwards, Captain John Tavares had some praise for Flames goaltender David Rittich.
He was reading the play extremely well. He made a couple really good cross-crease, cross-ice passes. Just was tracking the puck. He was really square, and on a lot of good looks, too, that he made look easy, and he wasn't making it easy for us to beat him tonight, so he played well.
Rittich made 36 saves for Calgary in the win. Leafs are now off until Saturday's game versus the Chicago Blackhawks at Scotiabank Arena. That game will be on the Fan as well. Other finals around the NHL include the Canadiens over the Flyers 4-1, Bruins over the Penguins 4-1, the Sabres over the Stars 4-1, while in current action, Coyotes and Canucks are tied at 1 apiece. And over at the CHL NHL Top Prospects game in Hamilton, Team White beat Team Red 5-2. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime. The home of Tim and Sid now on TV and radio, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 11:17.
There are lots of ways to treat your cold symptoms. You can carry around a spoon and syrup, or try alternative methods. How about those lozenges? Why not drop all that for a different way? Cold drops, just one drop with a naturally sourced ingredient for temporary symptom relief of cough, sore throat, and nasal congestion.
Relief with just one drop. Cold Drops.
For a retailer near you, visit colddrops.com. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
Something's always coming up. Home improvements, kids' education, car repairs, credit card bills. Maybe you even saw a real deal on an investment property. Well, don't wait for the money to fall from the sky. Call Northwood Mortgage and start taking care of business. Use your home to save money. Pay off your mortgage faster. See why Canadians have turned to Northwood Mortgage for over a quarter of a century. Northwood Mortgage. Visit NorthwoodMortgage.com.
We're working harder for you.
License 10349.
680 News Time, 11:18.
A South Carolina woman has pleaded guilty to fatally poisoning her husband by putting eye drops into his water. Lena Clayton was sentenced to 25 years in prison. She admitted she poisoned him with Visine for 3 days in July of 2018 before the poison eventually caused his death. Prosecutors saying she killed him for his money. Countries who lost citizens in last week's Ukrainian plane crash in Iran emerged from a Canada-led meeting today with 5 demands from the Iranian regime.
One of the key demands from this meeting held in London is that the Iranian regime compensate the families of victims. Our Foreign Affairs Minister, Francois-Philippe Champagne, who chaired the gathering, says they also want assurances from Iran around the victim identification process.
Is conducted with dignity, transparency, and according to international standards, and that the wishes of the families regarding repatriation are respected.
The countries are also calling for full access for consular officials and investigators and an independent criminal investigation. The Trudeau government is exploring the option of compensating victims' families in the interim, since the international investigation could take years to complete. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
680 News Time, 11:19. The provincial Liberal Party has gained another seat at Queen's Park, but as we hear from our Richard Southern, the party is still a long way off from reclaiming official party status.
It's Amanda Samar joining the Liberal caucus. The first-term MPP has been sitting as an independent for more than a year after quitting the PC caucus to protest Premier Ford's cuts to French language services. She says she's teaming up with the Grits.
This is the party that truly respects and understands the people of my riding, my community, and our province.
The Liberals now have 6 seats at Queen's Park, still 6 shy of official party status. Her announcement comes, though, as a new poll shows the Liberals out in front, with 33% support in the province. Richard Southern, 680 News.
Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and your extended forecast.
680 News Time, 11:20. When it comes to attracting customers to your business, 680 News has been delivering the goods for decades. Just ask Frank Serpa of Serpa Automotive Group.
We've been advertising on 680 News since 1996 because we sell various brands starting from entry-level vehicles to supercars. 680 can provide me with every client for every brand because 680 News has a lot of great listeners. Also, the other advertisers that are on 680 raise the credibility of our business.